Okay, folks, here we go. In 4, in 3, 2.
The show is for entertainment purposes only, and you must be 18 years of age and over to receive a reading from the panel. And sorry, no medical questions. Hello once again, this is Stephen J. Murphy, and welcome to All About You, the show that's about your future, your present, and your past. It's all about those who've passed over and making contact with them, and we always have the best on the panel, and tonight no exception. I'm always here with my co-host Vivian Summers. Hello, Viv.
Hi, it's great to be back. I'm so sorry that I let you hold the fort last week, but it's good to be back again, so thank you.
Thank you. And I had to operate this here because you're a bit of a master with the iPad and the keys, and thankfully I wasn't shaking
That's an
with the hands.
overstatement, Steve, but I'm happy to do it because I have seen you and your attempts. So leave it to me so that Amanda can actually get on and chat to us tonight.
Well, yes, there's another good cue for a great actor. We've got Amanda Hall with us, who talks about Mercury tonight and where it's going to be placed in your particular chart. But when it goes retrograde, everything can fall over, including accidents, God forbid. So we'll work out where it is tonight. And what's the significance of the great communicator Mercury? Where is it in your chart? So stay with us.
And we have a huge lineup tonight. We're very excited to have Mitchell Coombes come back and join us again this evening. Thank you so much for joining the show. We're very excited to have you back.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. Thank you very much for having me, and I'm so thrilled to be back.
It's really even more exciting because out of hundreds of viewers at home that have emailed us, 2 very lucky viewers have been blessed with the opportunity to have a phone reading.
Oh, that's so exciting. And you know what I love about telephone reading or working through the phone is hearing the person's voice. You know, some people say, is a phone, because I do readings via phone, and people say, you know, is a phone reading just as accurate as having an in-person experience? And I say, yes, it is. And some of my best readings have been through the telephone.
Mine too.
And it works through the voice. So I tune into the voice vibration. So as I'm hearing the caller's voice talk to me, their loved ones in the spirit world will come and talk to me. So that's how it works, and it's quite fascinating process.
Do you read the voice as well?
No, it's the vibration, so it's the energy that I pick up as I hear the voice.
Because I think a lot
sound,
of people
has frequency.
have a little bit of judgment around that it might be inferior to a in-person reading.
Yeah.
So that's great to hear
and
that.
in my experience, well, at least with my experience in my sessions, they're not, and I find it just incredible. We can have miraculous messages coming through.
I had a phone reading several months ago, and the lady was in Queensland, and she said to me, she goes, "Are you sitting up in bed?" And I went, it was the middle of the day, and I went, "Yes." She said, "Do you have a little dog next to you, laying next to you?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, it's a little girl, isn't it? And she's black. And I said, "Yes, she is." She said, "Yes, she's your daughter."
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
And she described it beautifully.
So one of 2 things are happening. Either the spirit world's telling her or she's remotely viewing and she's seeing that, which is another facet of the psychic world, of course.
And remote viewing, just for the viewers at home, just a little
so
brief
it's the
outline.
ability to be in one location but perceiving something happening in another location. So you can describe what you're seeing or what's happening. That's remote viewing in the simplest of forms. But often the spirit will do that with me, of course, and I have clients and I'll say to them, you know, now you've just picked up a gold cross and you've just, you know, held it to your heart, or you're doing this right now, and you hear the call go silent, and you say, "Are you still there? Are you still on the end of the line?" They say, "Yes, I am, but that's incredible because that's what I'm doing right now." And the reason why I know is not because I've remotely viewed, but because whoever I'm talking to in the spirit world has given that information to me, which helps to give further validation that, you know, which is my biggest message, and that is that we don't die, the soul continues on, and there is no death. You know, the soul is eternal.
Which is really the greatest discovery, I think, in human history.
Yeah.
So at the forefront you are. It's amazing and helping so many people.
I think that's interesting because I've seen you on stage many times, and when you come out, you've got just your burst of energy is so full of confidence. But you do get very clear messages. Like there's 300 people plus in the audience. Is what is jumping out to you? Like for instance, I saw you one night, and you were ecstatic about this train sets, this doot doot under the house. This guy had who'd passed over, he loved train sets, and you got that so clearly.
Yeah. And it's generally too, you know, I always go with the very first impression that I receive when I'm opening up to the spirit world. But as you rightly described, there can be a large audience, and there might be 300 people or 4 or 5 or whatever in the audience, but you've got to remember that there's not really just 300, there's probably 600 or 700 because their loved ones have come with them from the spirit world. So I actually have a lot to deal with when I am working with a large group doing those readings. But as I have to say to you too with that, what I have also found too is I feel such a strong pull often to a certain area of the audience, and many times I'm able to zero in on a particular person, and I just love it because sometimes you'll find a person sinks in their chair and they're thinking, oh, please don't come to me, but that's the person who needs the message the most.
And I personally witnessed that when I went to see you do one of your shows at the Mind Body Spirit Festival.
Oh, yes.
And you zoned in on a married couple, and I actually saw them do that. I saw them kind of sink down into the chair. And it took some time, but you were persistent and you were saying, no, this reading is definitely for you and it is about your daughter. And you were very specific about what happened to their daughter, and eventually the husband stood up, but it took a good 5-10 minutes before he started to acknowledge. And then once the wife stood up, the whole story came out.
Yeah.
I was in tears just watching it.
And it took the wife, also the mother of this child, validating it and acknowledging the message for the message to fully flow through. But what I find really incredible about that is, you know, some people, they do, you know, remember we're dealing with very real people and very real emotions, in both worlds, in the spirit world and here. And sometimes it takes a little bit of courage, you know, for a person to speak up and to share their story, because there can be a lot of sadness, pain or guilt around a loved one's passing. So it sometimes takes a little bit of time. And so I do try to be very gentle in my approach, because, you know, these are very real people and in both worlds, and very real emotions that we're dealing with.
Well, I saw you change those people's lives that day forever.
It was a beautiful
And I think
reading,
you released a tremendous amount of guilt that lady had been feeling that was unnecessary. And the specifics that you gave in that the experience between them was like, really just that one moment is enough for me to go, there is definitely 100% an afterlife.
Well, I'm looking, and I totally agree with you. You know, I say to people, I don't believe in life after death because I know that there is life after death, and there's a big difference. In my heart, 100% know that the soul lives on. But tonight I have to say I'm hoping to bring through as many healing messages as I can for those that have written in. So I'll get through as many as I can.
Are there lots of spirits in this studio?
Do you know, the energy is just building, I have to tell you. You know, the lines are very busy up there.
Wow.
There are crossed wires happening at the moment.
Well, get those questions into us. There's the information there on our screen at allaboutyouau@gmail.com. And we'll be getting to those questions very soon. Thank you very much, Mitchell. Lovely to have you back with us, of course, friends of the family. Zoe Sheridan is going to be joining us a little soon. I want to know the significance of the 1111 T-shirt that she's wearing.
Everybody's talking about it.
And yes, and it's amazing how many times we go to look at our clock or a watch or even on our laptop and it'll say 11 or something's 11. But what is the significance of that? She says it's very, very important. So we'll be finding out a little bit more with Zoe very soon.
Quite a powerful soul herself. She does a lot of work in a lot of different areas of healing.
Very Neptunian. She's very gentle.
Well, she's very multifaceted as well. She's a little pocket rocket.
Very pretty lady too.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
And another pretty lady we have on the program is Roxy, Feng Shui.
G'day, Steve.
Lovely to have you see us.
Thank you very much, guys. Good to be back again.
Back with us again. Feng Shui specialist, and you've got your book out as well.
Yes, I do.
Which is called A Practical and Easy Guide
Show it there for the
to
guys,
Feng
there
Shui.
you
Quite a few pages there.
Yeah, 333. Would you believe that?
What, did you plan that?
I did not plan that.
You
I swear
didn't
to
plan
God.
that?
I wrote it, and then when it went to the editor and they sized it down, it came back 333, and even I freaked out. I went, wow, because that's such a significant number to me.
Which adds up to a 9, the philanthropic
which is
number.
And also your birthday.
It is also my birthday, which is the 3rd of the 3rd. So, and my number plate is 333 as well.
That is such a coincidence. But Feng Shui, and I was calling it Feng Shui, but
it doesn't matter, Feng. It doesn't matter. It depends on the dialect because there's so many different dialects in Chinese. There's about 8 actually. So Feng, Feng, it doesn't matter.
It's important, isn't it, to get it right?
Yeah, correct.
What is
I
Feng
say
Shui?
Feng Shui.
Exactly.
What is Feng Shui? It's about energy and common sense. It's also about the art of placement. So it's how you create your sacred space at home. So it's what you put in certain areas to activate that energy. You know, you wouldn't put dirty clothes in a corner thinking that you're going to attract the right relationship. You know, you have to think about what you're doing.
I changed my bedroom around after the last time
Yes.
that you came on the show,
Yes.
and I actually I felt an immediate difference,
Yeah.
but there were also changes in my life that happened along those lines afterwards.
It's
I went out
amazing
and
how
bought a
fast it can
painting.
happen. It's energy. Like
yeah.
you start moving things around, that's moving energy. So
Yeah.
sometimes things can happen quite quickly. It just depends how much you do. And sometimes it could be 3 weeks, could be 3 months.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, with regards to Feng Shui, and let's just talk about one room particularly. Now, this might even be an office. If you see a door that's closed continuously and someone is inside this room or inside this office,
Yeah.
Feng Shui-wise, does that door close, does that mean anything?
Okay.
Or does it stop some sort of energy flow?
Well, sometimes people do need privacy, so you've got to be realistic. With me, with Feng Shui, it's common sense, always. So if you really want to have a private phone call, then you're going to shut the door. If you actually want to have the energy then flowing, then you're going to open it up so the energy can flow around, in and out, you know, and keep that flowing that way.
Right, so how do glass walls, how are they affected with Feng Shui?
Okay, you never sit with your back towards a window, if you can help it. Okay, if you can't change that, if you're in an office and you can't change it, then try and get a blind. If you can't get a blind, then use a plant as protection behind your back, because working with a window or glass door behind you, that's weakening your position.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
I'm
try
always-
not to if you can help it.
Just made me think about it when you were talking about a laundry basket. The same thing with the garbage.
Yeah,
you know,
same thing.
it's right there in the kitchen, and it's
Put it under
basically
the sink.
put it
I
under the
actually
sink.
have a small bin at work and at home that I actually clear it out every single day, because I don't want the smell. I
Yeah.
don't want this great big bin that's ugly and takes up space. So it's under the sink, very small, and I clear it out.
Yeah.
That's keeping the energy flowing once again.
Another thing I picked up on that I thought was interesting, you're saying to people, don't paint your doors, your front doors white. Now, how many people have we seen with our front
My
doors?
front door.
or back
My
doors
front
are
door is white.
But this is not a good thing, though, is it?
Not in Feng Shui. Look, everyone can do whatever they want, okay? But if they're going to go along with the Feng Shui rules, the white in Feng Shui is actually death, believe it or not.
Right.
It's the other way around. Whereas the colour black, red and dark green are the best colours for the front door. So, but it's just a matter of what you want to go with and what you want to believe. But yeah, my front door is black with a
Yeah.
great big yin and yang on the front of it.
So what about plants in the bedroom?
Never. Because plants actually take away your oxygen, which is why they take flowers out of the hospital rooms and things like that. So no plants in the bedroom. Plants everywhere else, but not in the bedroom.
That's incredible.
The significance of these, this is a
My
salt lamp.
beautiful
Look how
salt
beautiful
lamp.
this
Yeah.
is.
Yes, I actually own a shop in Cronulla and it's called Earth Angels, which I'm very proud of. And it'll be 2 years in April that we've been there, on the 8th of April. And we're actually a salt lamp centre and we sell these little babies.
This is literally salt.
It is full on salt. If you
Pure
actually
salt.
licked your finger and touched it, that's salt. Okay. Now, these are about giving off negative ions in the air that we breathe. So it's good for breathing, stress, depression, anxiety. And if you've got enough of them, which I have created a salt room, the first salt room in Sutherland Shire and in Sydney South. And we actually have people come in all the time to come and either if they've got bronchial problems or respiratory problems, or they're just stressed out. They come and sit in the room for 45 minutes and they walk out feeling brand new. Even Mitchell and I have sat there together a couple of weeks ago and it really was lovely, wasn't it, Donna?
It is, and salt, I just want to add, and salt, as you know, is very cleansing. It's a wonderful cleansing. It cleanses the aura, it cleanses your atmosphere around your body, which is such a beautiful
That's right.
thing to do.
That's right.
I
It's the
turn mine on
orange hue.
every single night, and
Yeah.
if I go to bed and I remember that I haven't turned it on, I get up out of
You're meant
bed
to
and
leave
go
them
and turn it
Viv.
on.
You're meant to leave them
The
on
whole time?
24/7. Yeah, I got 25 at home. That's just at home.
Oh, that's
they're
good
all
to know
on.
because I worry that it's
No.
going to heat up or
No,
when
it
I'm
doesn't.
out during the day it's going
What
to get
sort of
too hot.
globe do you pop in this?
Just a 15-watt globe.
Yeah.
Right. I sell them as well
Yeah.
at my shop, but
Yeah.
they don't cause fire. They don't.
Because
burn
when I
out.
turn it off, I find mine melts. Like it starts to
Yes,
get a
it sweats.
residual.
It's called
it's sweating.
And that's
right.
because of the humidity. If you keep it on, it's doing its job when you're not there. It's giving off the negative ions. And so when you go to bed, you're breathing pure air. It's no good just turning it on when you get there, because then it's got to do its job, and by the time it's ready,
So just leave it going the whole time.
Yes.
Do you know where they originate from, or are they just...
Himalayas. They're called Himalayan salt lamps.
I'm like, well, I have Himalayan salt on my dinner every night, so... And
they
it's
all
pink,
this
of
colour?
course.
No, actually, they come darker, they come lighter. You can actually get white, which is the pure salt, but I personally like the pink Himalayan, or they're actually orange, but they're called pink Himalayan. You know,
right.
you got the pink salt that you put on food. Same concept, same thing.
And with a salt room, that would create a real noticeable energy if you were in
it's
it.
the orange hue. It's got the infrared is very good for our eyelids and stuff, so it just really calms you. And the thing is, that's why I use the orange instead of the white. It's not bright. It's quite a subdued orange, and then it relaxes you.
So how much would a little number like this?
I have the best prices in Sydney. Thanks for asking, Steve.
No, I'm curious because I wouldn't mind one.
I will give this to you.
No, I didn't say that purposely because I love the colour of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got a lovely aura.
This
about
is
it.
a
And that's a beautiful
4 to 6
shape.
kilo salt lamp, and I sell them for $40, and you can't get them anywhere.
That is so,
That is
so
so
cheap.
cheap.
I know, they are. And I've got bigger and I've got smaller, but nothing is over $100. So
My goodness. Is
that
unless
like
I buy a ginormous one, then
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. I mean, is that like the average?
This is the
size?
average size.
Yeah, mine's about that size, and it was definitely more than that.
Well,
So
I do claim to be the best prices in Sydney.
Can you have them outside in the rain?
No, they'll disintegrate.
Yeah. I mean, this,
Roxanne will give this beautiful salt lamp to you, Steve, and then it will just melt in the rain.
Let's just
have a cover.
put it outdoors for good feng shui now. Let's put it out with the plants.
Cleansing the
No,
backyard.
it's just clean. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
You know?
Is it like crystals where you put them
It
out in
is.
the moon
It's a
to
mineral.
clean them?
No, actually,
Right.
'Cause
good
they'll
question
melt.
Again. No, not only that.
they won't. Oh.
These actually cleanse crystals themselves. If you put crystals around here, they actually do the job of taking the negative energy away from the crystal. So you don't need to do anything with this.
Yes.
Salt is a mineral that actually disperses negative energy all the time.
Yes.
24/7.
We're talking with Roxanne, Feng Shui, a practical and easy guide to Feng Shui. And Roxanne has her book here tonight, 333 pages of advice
And I
healing.
love the cover.
What do you
it's
love
beautiful.
about your book?
What do I love about it? It's simple and it's easy, and I wrote it for that reason, so everyone could understand it.
Yes, and where do we-
it became an Australian bestseller because of that.
Wow. Where can we buy this book?
Earth Angels, you can buy this at Cronulla at Earth Angels,
Right.
because it was, look, to be honest, I wrote this 13 years ago, so therefore it doesn't really last in bookshops and things like that. They can go to the libraries. I made sure they went to all the libraries in Sydney, but they can buy it or purchase it from my online shop on Facebook.
Yes.
It's called Earth Angels Online Shop.
And
they can
also
purchase it
your
there.
website, which is
Also my website.
www.fengshuilaws.com. So can we pop that up, Marg, on the screen, just so that people know the spelling?
And you do a lot of
On the
expos
Facebook.
as
It's going to
well.
go up on the Facebook
I do.
page.
We've got the Mind, Body, Spirit coming up. And I will have my book, and I will have salt lamps, and
Yes.
I'll have a lot of other feng shui things. But I've been
Yes.
doing it for 12 years now,
Yeah.
so I'm part of the furniture.
So do you do demonstrations on stage?
No, I don't.
Yes.
I'll tell you why, because I can't leave my stall. There's no
Yeah.
one, if
Yeah.
people do come and they say to me, which makes my day, they say, I've come here just to see you. And I go, great, but I can't leave it for a half hour to an hour because there's no one that can answer my questions.
Last piece of advice.
Yes.
To bring love and romance into the life, even if you're worried about losing the one that you really love, and there's a
Okay.
lot out there at the moment thinking,
Correct.
oh, I'm on the verge of
Yeah.
losing.
With Venus retrograde.
Yeah, Venus is retrograde at the moment.
What's
and
your advice?
That is about relationships,
Yeah.
working and not working. My advice in Feng Shui is I actually sell pink mandarin ducks at Earth Angels, and those ducks are actually so you will either attract your soulmate or it gets rid of the one that you're with, so you can actually have the right person in your
Pink
life.
ducks.
Mandarin.
ducks.
Oh, mandarin ducks.
Don't put them outside.
Okay, and you put those in your bedroom, as well as there's a whole heap of things you do. You can't expect those to create miracles, but
Yes.
you know they do help. You asked
And
that
you were
question.
saying the last time we had you on the show, if you're a male, to put a lot more black in the bedroom. Is
Black
that
and
correct?
white.
Black and
no.
white.
Black and white.
Ah,
so there's
for the
balance
male
of
and female.
female
Yes.
energy. Okay, just like the yin and yang that I'm wearing. Same concept.
Well, Roxanne, thank you for coming
Thanks,
in.
Steve.
Always
Some
lovely to
great
have you with us.
information.
And lovely seeing you with your book too. I didn't know it was 333 pages, but there's
Yes.
something in that.
There you go.
Oh, look
And
out
I'm
for
actually going to get
Roxanne.
some more salt lamps. So last time you were on, I went home and changed my bedroom around.
Yep.
Now I'm just going to add salt lamps to
Well,
the
you need
mix.
to come for a trip to Cronulla.
That's okay. I've got great friends over there, so it's a worthwhile reason to go.
Perfect.
Check out www.fengshuilaws.com. That's where Roxy is also with her book. Thanks for coming in, Mum.
Thanks so much,
guys.
Roxy. See you
See you,
next
Mitch.
time.
Well, Mitchell.
Yes.
Camera 8. Great to have you back with us. We're getting those questions coming in too. On the screen there, allaboutyouau@gmail.com, and we'll try and get to questions as soon as we can. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Ready to go. Here we go. Okay, the first question for the evening. Parahan.
Right.
And the question for Mitchell Coombes. Hello, Mitchell. I was wondering if you could see something regarding love this year. I haven't been in a relationship for a few years. I've had a few heartbreaks with men. I do feel ready and open to it now. Also, my sister passed away 2 years ago, and my mother passed away recently in February 2017. This leaves me as the sole survivor of my immediate family. Are there any messages from them from Spirit?
Okay. Well, hello, and thank you very much for your question this evening. The first thing I'd like to say to you is a few things, and that is I do feel that your loved ones, the two that you've asked about, I feel are together in the spirit world. I feel that's the case. I do feel that those two are together in the spirit world. And I need to say to you, I have a very strong feeling that this is actually a wonderful year for you when it does come to relationships, because I keep being shown that doors are about to open. And you are right when you say you now feel ready and you now feel open for love and for bringing love in, because I do feel that in the past there has been some hurts, there has been some heartache in the past that has really prevented you from feeling you could move forward. But my sense and my feeling is that now is the right time. And I have to say to you, I keep being shown the months here of July, and I feel that for you the month of July this year will be a turning point for you, but it will then be August and September that become real pivotal points for you when it comes to finding love and starting a new chapter and a new journey. I'm just going to shuffle my cards here. These are the Psychic Soul Oracle cards that I created, and they were released last year. And I'm going to draw a few cards for you as well, just to get some further validation and clarification on your questions. So the first card that we have here, of course, is Soul Connection. So it's very fitting to your question that, as we've spoken about, love is coming in, and as I do feel that there is a soulmate connection that's coming in for you. And it's about you coming back into your own courage. We have here the butterfly of courage. So this is all about you really just feeling courageous and feeling confident again. I do feel that a part of you, I don't want to say lacks confidence, but a part of you may be feeling as though, oh, I'm worried that it might happen all over again, or I may become hurt again. I don't feel that you will, but I feel you need to give love a chance and release. That's it. Release all the past emotions. Release what's been blocking you, what's been holding you back. It's part of your soul lesson to go through the relationships that you've gone through. But I do feel that love comes in for you. And I keep seeing a gentleman around you that has a P initial in his name. So in my mind's eye now, I'm seeing the initial P. So the initial P seems quite strong actually around him. And I feel that you'll be very drawn to his eyes when you meet him. But love will come in for you. And I don't believe and I don't feel that you're going to be single forever. So love does come, and it's a beautiful companionship, because I just heard a beautiful voice from upstairs say you'll be a comfort to each other.
And that's profound. The cards that you picked were all in relation to that question.
And they always are, because the right cards, I believe that we don't choose the cards choose us. And the right cards always choose you. Yeah.
Yes, because the first card was quite
soul
extraordinary.
connections.
Yes.
Yeah, so which is all about soulmates and spiritual bonds, and I really feel that soulmate connection, as I said, is coming in. But there's a feeling of stepping into the courage, so becoming more, believing more in yourself, self-confidence, self-belief, being fearless, and also really holding that thought in your heart, in your mind, that you're not going to be hurt again. Because I do feel that this lady has been hurt in the past before, so it's releasing all of that because it was part of a soul lesson and it's gone.
They're beautiful cards.
I know.
Thank you
They
very
are
much.
See the energy bouncing
really
off them
magical.
here.
Thank you very much. Yes, each card has a different crystal on them, and I channeled these cards. They were a labour of love, and but each crystal, of course, and each positive word means something different for you. And for those that aren't used to using cards, or it's new to you, you think, oh, I've never really tried using, oracle cards or spiritual cards before. These cards are designed for a beginner, a novice, and someone perhaps who is advanced. And there's a beautiful guidebook that goes with them actually that explains the meaning of each card. So you can draw a card each day. In fact, Viv, why don't we draw a card with you just now? Because I feel
this
you'd
would
like
be a
to.
first. After 5 months, someone's finally asked me to draw a card.
Because I feel that you feel
so
very
much.
drawn to these cards.
I am. I'm quite taken with them.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give them to you because you're here in the studio. I'm going to ask you to shuffle the cards.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Do you have a question
excited
that you
right
want
now.
to ask, or you're just interested in seeing what comes up for you?
I do have a question.
All right. What's your question? For the viewers at home.
Oh,
That's
okay.
very solitary, isn't it? I can read people's minds.
Change the question. Yes, Steve knows me too well. Am I meant to venture later into going over to the States?
All right, let's have a look. So
Okay.
shuffle the cards and hold that
Shuffle
thought.
the cards.
And what Viv's doing as she's shuffling the cards here is she's putting her energy into the cards. So as she shuffles and as she focuses on those questions, her energy is going into the cards. And when Viv feels a guidance within herself to stop shuffling, Viv, I'll ask you to stop when you feel ready.
We could be here for several hours. No, it's okay. Thank you.
Okay, lovely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you to pick for me here 3 cards wherever you feel guided.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting a reading from Mitchell Coombes. Oh, my...
Oh, you're very sweet.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
very sweet.
thank you.
It's my pleasure because I feel you feel very drawn to these. In fact, last time I was on the show, I had a message for you.
Yes, you did, from my dad, and you picked up straight away on my other little doggy that had just passed away.
Because, you
and
know,
you
as I say,
described her to a T.
animals go where we go. You know, our pets go where we go.
You said she was with my dad, and that meant a great deal to me.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at these cards. All right. So your question is should I go to America later on? Should I be pursuing something in America? Okay, so the cards that you've drawn here are the Butterfly of Love, which is rose quartz, the Guardian Angel card, which is Angelite crystal. So these are the different crystals associated with them, and the Butterfly of Trust, Amazonite. This is really interesting because on the surface you might think, well, what does that mean for my question, you know, with the States? But as I'm looking at these cards, I have to tell you something. I actually feel there seems to be a very strong matter of the heart that will pull you to America. I don't feel it's a case of should I go to America. I feel it's a case of you will actually feel so drawn and so led to go to America. But I feel that there's bigger reasons for you going. I don't feel it's solely career based. So I feel what the cards are showing here, there's a matter of the heart that will really pull you there. You've got here the card of Guardian Angel. So you're being told that you've always got the support, blessings and guidance from your Guardian Angel. So I feel that if you did go, I don't feel you'd be out on your own or out on a limb, so to speak. I feel upstairs would be watching you. And you're just being told to trust in your conviction and to have faith, belief and understanding that I actually do feel that that is the right path for you. If you do decide to go, and I feel that you will, as I said, I don't feel it's a case of if or should I go, I feel it's just that you'll be pulled there. The final outcome of what America would really offer for you is healing. So it really helps to bring all aspects of your life together for you. It helps to give you that sense of feeling whole and feeling fulfilled and feeling complete. So my feeling is yes, you will go, and it is very wise for you to go in that direction.
And see, Viv's a Capricorn, and America is a Cancerian country, but Australia is a Capricorn country. That's why America and Australia are like brother and
Have
sister.
such an alliance.
Yes, yeah.
And
But
that's
a matter
very
of the
true
heart will
about the
pull you there.
matter of the
There
heart,
seems
yes.
to be deeper reasons for you to be going to America. I don't feel it's solely career based. Did I
that's
open a can of worms?
Very interesting. Marg just yelled in my ear that I'm definitely not going to America. Ow,
Sorry.
that hurt.
Sorry, Marg.
Ouch. Marg. Well, I can't marry you, Marg.
You have
God, you're
freedom of
already
choice
married.
and free will.
I just said I'm married to the show. Right, we'll have a discussion after the show about this. It's fabulous. No, wouldn't be for a while, but thank
That's
you.
right. It's later on. It's
all of-
actually comes at a time when you're beautiful now, but it comes at a time when you're much, much older. It's not now.
I've always felt that I'd love to settle in a place like Santa Fe or Ojai in California.
The water's very
spiritual
important
areas.
because you need to be by the water's edge. So don't go inland. Be
Well,
by
I
the
live by
coast.
the water and I always have.
Hold on. No? Right, hold on. Jupiter Inlet at Florida is available to you. Sorry. I'll back after this.
Just give him my number. Pass on my email. You say them so well.
Helen writes in.
Right.
When the hell is my reading going to
Thanks so
happen?
much.
She says. Let's get to this.
That's amazingly accurate. Just to finish before we go on for other people, my 2 seconds worth is the trust is incredibly accurate because my biggest question and my biggest fear is the trust of to actually do it.
To do it, to take that step.
I've always had, my former partner is American, I've always had a real connection.
Oh, that's the matter of the heart. Now it all makes sense. See, there's a matter of the heart seems to really pull you to the States, and there's a bigger reason why you'll go.
Yes.
Just have trust. It's a step in the right direction.
Oh my goodness!
told yes
I
from
need
the
to try and get
spirit
my
world for
head
you.
back together for the rest of the show. That's fabulous. My
I'll talk to
goodness.
you more about it afterwards
Now
because
I
I've
know
got more
why
to tell you.
Mitchell Kums is so popular. I knew anyway, but
You're very
golly.
sweet.
Helen.
Okay,
Yes,
yes.
what's Helen's
let's
question?
Helen, I'm on the script. Back to the script, Viv. All right, Helen Clement, born on the 22nd of the 11th, 1948. Her subject is about moving. Hi, Mitchell. I'm in a dilemma at the moment, wanting to move closer to family, but don't know if it's going to happen. Do you see me refurbishing this home or whether I will make the move and settle down? If so, when? I also have a close Aunt Betty who crossed over a year ago. Maybe she has a message for me. Thank you, Mitchell.
Yeah, as I'm hearing that question, I need to say to you, I do feel that your Aunt Betty is stepping forward here, and I'm just being shown that she's telling me that she reaches out and places her hand on your shoulder. And when I see the spirit world do that, it's a sign that she's reaching out to steady you in your life. And I need to say to you, the message that she's giving to me here is, I feel hold off on any renovations, hold off on doing any renovation work, put that to the wayside, because I keep being told, well, you may not be moving home to be closer to your family just right now. I feel that you will be moving, and it will be fairly soon. I do feel that before the end of the year is out, I feel that there seems to be movement around you concerning where you're living, and I'm being shown boxes being packed and unpacked, which is my symbol for the move. So I would encourage you not to sort of, I guess, lose money by investing in renovations and so forth and going through that unnecessary stress, because my sense and my feeling is, from what Betty is telling me here, is you will move to be closer to family. And again, interestingly, I see you also living quite close to the water. I feel the home that you're moving to is a brick home. There seems to be 3 distinct palm trees out the front of this house that you're moving to. I'm also being shown the number 3 in the number of the home that I feel you will end up in. And I have to tell you, you'll be very happy and feel very settled there. And once you've made the move, you're going to look back and you will say to yourself, my goodness me, why did I not make this move sooner? It has been the best decision that I have ever made. So I feel it's a really good step for you, and I would encourage you to feel confident in making that change. I know that there's been some situations around you that have prevented you from being able to get the wheel moving, but don't worry, because as I said, that chapter in your life where you've been feeling stuck is closing, and I really feel that you are stepping into a new beginning, and being closer to your children is where you need to be at this point in time.
Very direct.
Now, I've got is it a
very
phone
accurate.
call, Margaret, coming through here with Kerry? Because I've got or I'll just go straight into the question here. If you'd like to, I'll wait for your response. We're getting a few people writing in for us, so take advantage of getting Mitchell on the show, allaboutyou@gmail.com. Get those questions into us as soon as we can. Now, I've got a call here coming through. We're going to be going to Kerry, and Kerry says, my 20-year-old grandson passed away 5 years ago this month. I know he's in a pain-free place, but could Mitchell please make contact? Tell me anything that would help his dad and siblings cope, as they are still in denial. Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, that is just such an interesting question. And firstly, hello, Kerry.
Hello, Mitchell. How are you?
I am very, very well, thank you. It is lovely to speak with you, and you can hear us clearly?
I can indeed.
Perfect. Okay, so Steve's just read out your question, Kerry, and you're live on the show right now. And I just need to say to you, Kerry, first things is I'm very sorry for your loss. So unfortunately, you've lost your grandson.
That's right, yes.
I need to say to you, Kerry, that as I'm talking here, he keeps telling me that it's nobody's fault, but he keeps telling me that his father, I don't know if that's your son, but he keeps saying, Dad blames himself, Dad feels responsible for the reason why I'm here. But I keep being told that that's not the case, and he keeps saying to me that there is nothing that his dad could have done that would have ever prevented, or his parents could have done that would have ever prevented what was going to happen. I feel that his passing to me feels like it's a shock. It feels quite sudden. I feel like he was here one moment and then I feel he was on the other side the very next. Can you understand what I'm saying, Kerry?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to just say to you, I feel that he's just showing to me here that he will come to you through dreams. So I need you to pay attention to your dreams, because I do feel that your beautiful grandson will come to you through dreams, is what he's just showing to me here. And they're not dreams, they're actually visits. It's where he's reaching out to visit you. Can you place the name Daniel? David, I keep getting a DA name coming through here. The name David, Daniel is a DA name. Do you understand that name? I don't know if that's someone that he knew or was a friend of his or what he means, but I'm hearing the name Daniel or David. It's a DA name being called out.
Not offhand, no, I
That's
don't.
fine. Look, don't make things fit either, but do hold it with you, because I do feel that it does hold significance. And as you speak to other people that knew your grandson and so on, I feel you'll be able to make a placement for what that means. It's sort of as though I feel he's acknowledging somebody here. Was it his father or was it yourself, Kerry, that did not get the chance to say goodbye to him before he passed away?
No, his father and mum were with him,
So
and I was with him the night before.
Yeah, so you weren't able to be with him in that very moment, but he's just telling me that that's okay, because he wants you to know that in the moment that you couldn't be there with him, I feel that he came to be with you, is what he's just showing to me here, okay? And I have to tell you, was he one of 3 children, or he's talking about 2 siblings or 2 other people?
No, he's one of 9.
Okay, 2 are very close, so there's 2 that I need to talk about. What's the connection to the 2? Were there 2 that he was very close to, or 2 that are closer or that were close with him? He keeps talking about there are 2 siblings that were very close with him, he's talking about.
Yes, there were 2 that were particularly closer.
Right.
There were three siblings in one little batch, and then
Yeah.
there was a brother, and then all the others
Yes.
came up.
He's talking about the 2 that he was particularly close to, and he says, give my love to all my family. He's sending his love to everybody, to the whole family, but he's also saying, give my love to those 2 siblings as well. He keeps talking about those 2, you see. Kerry, I have to say to you, he keeps opening up his hands and he shows me the symbol of the butterfly, and I keep feeling that the butterfly will be one of the symbols that he will send to the family to let you know that he is there, to let you know that he is around, is what he's just showing to me here. But you must pay attention to your dreams. If you haven't had a dream of him just yet, I feel that you will.
Yeah, I have.
And he keeps saying, please tell my... You know, it's interesting because he doesn't want to call you grandma. It's like he wants to call you Nan, or he has another word for you. You know?
Exactly, I don't like grandma.
No, yeah, you don't like grandma. Yeah, because he's saying you don't like grandma, you know, and he's saying he calls you another name, you know, and he's very respectful of you, and he keeps telling me. Now, I don't know if you just recently went to the optometrist and had your eyes checked, Kerry, but he was just...
I went to the optometrist today.
You were at the optometrist today?
Yes.
Yeah, so he was with you. So I just want you to know that when you were at the optometrist, he's just saying, to help give you, Kerry, some belief that he's communicating through me and to you tonight, I want to give you some validation. And that's what we call evidential information, right? So I need to say to you, he says, I was there with you, and I don't know if you've had to pick out a new set of frames because you broke your other pair, but anyway, he's just saying to me that he really liked your choices, and he keeps saying to me, he wants you to know that he loves you very much. Please send his love to his parents. Please tell them that he's around. Please tell them that he is there. He's sending his love to you. And Kerry, I'm going to gift you my book pack. I'm going to gift you both my book, Sensing Spirit, Sensing Psychic, a packet of incense, and also some oracle cards for you as my gift to you. And thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed that session here on the show.
Lovely.
Thank you very much, Mitchell. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry, and I hope we heard Kerry
goodness.
there at home, but thank you for phoning in. Lovely reading there too, Mitchell.
That was lovely.
I'm loving
my
your
goodness.
cards, by the way.
Thank
as
you
well
very
as your
much.
books. You can see...
the phone's calling someone. I'm clumsy with listen, technology and me don't mix. We have problems. And it's a
You
touch
have your
phone
own
screen.
lines.
Do you know how many people I pocket dial? I swear to goodness, I pocket dial. So many people say, you just FaceTime to me.
I FaceTime people all the time.
How do you do that? Because
terrible.
my fingers touch the screen.
And then my face shows up in the screen, and it's always like, you know,
I don't know whose phone this is.
my
but I'll give
least
it back to
attractive
her.
time. My gosh.
Yes,
That was incredibly powerful.
The most powerful moment for there, you know, I mean, the whole message was a special message, of course, but that moment of validation came with talking about the optometrist. She was just there today.
I know.
You know, her
I'm
grandson was
absolutely
with
blown
her.
away.
It shows you our loved ones walk beside us. And I'll just tell you, you know, there was an incident I saw not that long ago, and there was a lady walking in the street with her little boy. And as they were walking through the street, this little boy pointed to another lady that was walking down the street, and he said, Mummy, look at the dead lady. And the lady he pointed to was this other woman, and she was so mortified. She was shocked, thinking, why would a little child, you know, say, look at the dead lady and point at me? And I actually went up to her and I said, you know, I don't mean to, you know, interrupt your day, but I need to tell you I'm a medium, and can I tell you something? She said, I always ask for the permission of that person.
Did you know who you were?
No, well, she I think she did, but she didn't say. She might have known about my work and which was a beautiful thing. But you know what I said to her? I said, the reason why that little boy pointed at you and said, look at the dead lady, he wasn't pointing at you. He was pointing to your mother who was walking beside you. And she broke down in tears and said she only passed a week ago. So, you know, what a beautiful message. And so it just goes to show us that our loved ones aren't always with us because they have their own things that they need to tend to in the spirit world. But quite often they are by our side and they take a keen interest in our lives, even if it's going to the optometrist.
It would be fascinating to have you on one night just to talk about your understandings of what really
I would
happens or
love to
goes
do
on
that.
the other side
We'll
of the
make a
world.
date.
Oh, my gosh.
Mitchell Coombes is with us exclusively doing the readings tonight for our whole show. Margie writes in about her dad. My granddaughter will sit and watch TV and suddenly starts laughing, and just wondering if she can see her great-grandfather, as she looks like she is staring off into space when she laughs.
Well, how fitting is that question? And what a beautiful segue from what I've just said about children that can see further than most. And I really often have said I believe this, out of the mouths of babes can come wise words. Children are very sensitive, they're very susceptible, and they're very honest. They describe what they see, what they hear, what they feel as clearly as they see it. And I really do feel that your granddaughter is seeing your dad, is seeing her great-grandfather. And when she does that, don't be afraid to talk to her and ask her what she's seeing and what she's experiencing. Don't lead the questions. You know, you don't want to lead a person into an experience, but ask and say, oh, that's interesting. Are you having a chat with a friend? And just see what comes back at you from her, because you will find that your father is there. By the way, he loves the photograph that you've got in the wooden picture frame. It's like a light timber wooden picture frame, and I actually feel it might even be a black and white photograph because I'm not seeing it in colour. He really likes that picture, and I must tell you, he's just flicking a coin here and catching it, and he says that when you find the pennies from heaven, small coins on the ground, 5-cent pieces, 10-cent pieces, what have you, look at the year on the coin, because it may coincide with his birth year or year of passing. I feel he'll send them to you as a sign of love that he's there, but your granddaughter's having an amazing experience. And it may start to fade as she gets a little older, Steve and Viv. As children begin to get to the ages of 12 and 13, for some, they don't seem to have those experiences as often as from when they were, say, 3 or 4. And I think it's because when a young child comes into this world, they've only really been in this world for a very short time. So it's very natural for them to have memories and remember things like angels and the spirit world and the place that I believe that their soul has come from.
And the veil is thin.
Can
It is.
I ask you an interesting question? What are some of the worlds that you feel that we've come from?
That is a loaded question.
That's a broad question there, Steve.
But surely you've spoken to spirits that are in other worlds.
I
I'm
believe.
just curious.
It's a great question, of course.
It is.
I'm a big believer in not limiting our experience and limiting the soul. So I would never say just because we don't understand something or we don't believe something or we're not convinced about something doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't exist. For me, most of the people that I've talked to, and I say people, not ghosts or spirit, because they are souls. They are real people like you and I, just in the other dimension, are really just in that other dimension. And I have to say, the spirit world, it doesn't have any geographical location. There's no heaven above or hell below, so to speak. So it's an impossibility. I will tell you, Steve, I've had people that have said, I'm worried I've been a bad person in life and I think I might go to hell. But, it doesn't exist, you see, not in that capacity. But I do believe that when we pass, we go to a realm that best reflects how we've lived our earthly lives. So it always pays to do your best, doesn't it, to be a good
Robin
person.
Williams made a fantastic movie about that.
Oh, really?
Do you remember the name of the movie that he did years ago, where he actually passed over the other side, and his experience was identical to what his thoughts and feelings were at the time?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the movie.
I really believe
Do you guys
that
remember it?
our energy greets us in the spirit world. So, when you are a person, and some people say, well, I've done horrible things. Does that mean I'm going to be paying for that? No, not necessarily, because when we do horrible things, sometimes people do things that they don't mean to do, and they find a way to try and strive to become better. A person that is a soul of the light, or a person that has good intentions, strives to become more of what they are, and that is a good soul. A person that has very dark intentions often strives to become more of that, and it's part of that soul's journey. But I only ever talk to souls that are of what I say in the light, or so I don't deal with the negative side of things. I try not to. But it's a great question, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if we've had people come from all kinds of different worlds that we don't even know of in our consciousness.
Oh, that's it. Robin Williams made the film What Dreams May Come in 1998, and he actually committed suicide in the movie to be with his wife and his departed children. And he had experiences on the other side that reflected the pain that he was in before
and that was and such a sad story of what's paralleled. And can I just say too, for people that are watching, for the benefit of everybody, if I can, I deal with a lot of people that, or I see a lot of people who have had loved ones that have unfortunately passed, crossed themselves over or committed suicide. And the one thing I really like to always drive home to anyone at any of my events or any of my sessions, and that is for those that unfortunately are very confused or in pain or you know, that they go down that path, please, please, please know that your loved ones are not stuck. I get this question every day. My loved one took their own life. Are they stuck? Are they in some horrible void? Are they in some dark place? No, there's no such thing as limbo. The only way to believe in limbo is to take the two sticks together and do the dance. Honestly, you know, there is no, you know, what happens when we pass, depending with tragic circumstances, is they are nursed back to the spirit world with TLC, with tender, loving care. You know, send healing thoughts to your loved ones, send them love. And 9 times out of 10, when I've had a soul come through that's talked about crossing themselves over, they tell me that they were very confused and in a very unclear headspace. And really, I feel it's an illness. It's a terrible, terrible thing. And my heart goes out to anyone.
My friend just committed suicide last week at 83
I'm
years
so
of
sorry
age.
to hear that.
And and it was just so unexpected. Sometimes, and a friend from actually Lifeline called me and said to me, it's often the ones that don't talk about it that are in more danger, the ones that tend to voice, I'm in trouble, I'm feeling down.
And remember,
or whatever.
Lifeline is always there. If you're someone that is feeling that way,
please reach out. Because they are phenomenal. My girlfriend rang me immediately and she counselled me and helped me so much. And I just think that they are an amazing group of people that give up their time just on their own time, and they are there for people to reach out to.
And most often I hear those in the spirit world say, if I knew then what I knew now, I wish I didn't do what I had done. And so there's you know, and some people say, well, I want to leave my life here on earth because it's too hard. But what you've got to remember is your soul and your journey here is a continuum. And so if you don't deal with your problems here, they'll still be there for you in the spirit world because you don't cease to exist. Your soul continues on its journey. But they find the healing that they need with the support over there as well.
But when one suicides, do you think that that's their destiny?
Not necessarily.
If one does pass over, and not relative to suicide...
I mean, it's a case-by-case thing, Steve. It's a case-by-case thing. But I tell you, it's never the answer, and there's always help there. There's always another way. There's always another way, and I really want to drive that message. But please, if you've lost a loved one passing at their own hand, please know that they're not in pain, they're not stuck.
What's your opinion about the soul leaving the body when it does pass over? How long is it in the spiritual plane before it comes back into the next incarnation?
This is the whole show. That show you spoke about coming in, it varies. I feel it varies from soul to soul. It depends on the circumstances. But they're great questions.
They are.
In fact, I talk about these questions in my book. In my first book, Sensing Spirit, we talk about the different ways that our loved ones can pass.
I read it cover to cover after you gave it to me, and thank you for that.
Oh, you're
and you
very
gave me some beautiful answers that really answered a lot of questions I'd had for a long time. So thank you.
That's beautiful.
Just moving on for a last question before we have our special guest.
No,
we're just we're getting our time in. Mikhail Therese Hooper. The subject is my partner Joseph. Is my partner Joseph and son Jake okay? I had to make the decision to turn off life support of my partner Joseph in 2002. I also lost my son the day before he was born, and I blame myself for it because it was my fault. Do they forgive me? I have got messages from family, but not them. I do need to know, Jake especially. Thank you for any help or relief that you could provide for me.
Well, firstly, can I just say that as I'm hearing Viv read out your beautiful question, your heartfelt question, I do feel that I have your partner with me here from the spirit world. And he's showing to me here a big green tick, which is my symbol for yes. And I'm hearing him say to me that turning off the life support machine was the right decision, as hard as that was for you to go through. And no one wants to, you know, really would like to go through something as difficult as that. I keep being told that you made the right decision, you made the right choice, because talking about the soul, as Steve was saying, his body was no longer anchoring his soul to the physical world. And so by you doing that was actually helping him to continue on his journey. So he's actually saying thank you. He's telling me, please don't ever feel bad and please don't ever feel guilty. He's got a real funny sense of humour, you know, because he's trying to make me laugh, and he's got a very larrikin, real fun nature. And I need to say to you that your beautiful son, your boy, he's there with him in the spirit world, and he's holding him in his arms, and that's symbolic because it shows me that those two are together and that he is being taken very good care of. And I don't feel that it was your fault. You can feel what you need to feel, but I need to say to you, I'm being told from the spirit world, it was not your fault. It wasn't meant to be. His soul wasn't meant to take on a life this time. So there was but you will always be his mother, and he's always around you in the spirit world. He is your angel that you can call by name. So I feel it's important that you set aside 5 minutes every couple of days or every day and talk to your son, because he hears you. The reason why sometimes you may not be feeling them around or feeling as though that they're giving you messages is because naturally your grief is very, very, very heavy, and it's understandable. So just know that they are there, that they're happy. He's not angry at you. He's not upset with you. He's telling me you've made the right decisions. And I'm just going to draw a card for you to end on a beautiful note, if that's okay. And answered prayers. So I really feel that your prayers are being answered. You've really had a very hard time in your life over the last 6 months, and I feel you've been talking to heaven, you've been asking Spirit and saying, please, can you help me? Can you guide me? Can you show me? And I feel that your prayers will be answered. Miracles are on the way for you. You have a lot of good coming into your life. Your partner says to me, you will find love again, and I feel that he will guide somebody into your life who will love you just as much as he does.
My goodness, it's just validations everywhere. Mark, the EP, was just saying to me while you were doing that reading that you were given a question earlier this evening for one of our crew. It's actually the makeup artist.
Oh, yes.
That there was a question, and the feedback that Mark just gave me regarding that was that you had said a grandmother had passed over of hers, and that the name was either Martha or Margaret, and she's just fed back that her name was Margaret, but she went by the name Martha.
Oh wow! So for those that, you know, before
Yes.
the show, I was sitting in the makeup chair because you've got to look beautiful, right? Angelic.
As you do.
I try my best. No. And the lovely lady that was doing the, you know,
Annette.
just making sure I looked presentable. Annette, I turned to her, and I don't often do this, and I said, I'm so sorry, but I feel I've got a lovely lady here with me that wants to talk to you. Can we, you know, can she give a message? And this makeup artist, Annette, said yes, sure. And I had her beautiful grandmother, and she gave me the name. You know, the name. So I have to. That's incredible.
And to add to that, you said, I feel that you're doing some renovation at the moment, and I actually know Annette quite well. We work together. And
I don't. I've never met Annette before.
Never.
This was the first time.
And you just offered this advice up. Anyway, Annette's right in the middle with all this fabulous weather that we're having at the moment, without a roof, because they're right in the middle of their renovations.
Well, that's a beautiful validation. And it just goes to show you, Annette, that your beautiful grandmother Martha is watching over you, and she prefers Martha over Margaret. So I'm pleased that that was right for you. She's saying you make sure you get the name right. She's a particular lady. She's a lovely lady, but very particular.
You are on fire.
That's a wonderful validation. I'm so pleased.
That is beautiful.
Get those questions in
lovely
from
being
Mitchell
here.
Coombes, the
know.
one and only, at allaboutyouau@gmail.com. And you might be wondering why I'm looking down at your breasts, but
Well,
the
there's
information-
no cleavage, so we've got there's
Well,
nothing
that
for me to worry
particular line I
about.
was
And
just
with
reading
you,
is in
Steve,
direct
there's
accordance
absolutely
with
nothing to
suspense
worry about
interview.
anyway. So
thank
we're all
you
good
for that,
together.
Viv.
No,
Gift
you are.
of
You're my
purchase
television
time.
husband. You're my
Zoe
favourite.
Sheridan, hello.
Hello,
Hi,
Steve.
Zoe.
Oh, thank
Lovely
you.
to have you with us on the
I
show.
was in Annette's makeup chair as well, and she's giving me bombshell hair and like.
And the most amazing
Lashes.
eyelashes. Oh my God,
I
you
know.
look gorgeous.
You're on radio, Zoe.
Sometimes, yes, I
Yes.
fill in sometimes on different radio stations, but I do voiceovers. So when I'm doing voiceovers, I'm on all the different.
Yes, you've got a great voice.
Stations.
Yes.
You
Thank
do.
darling.
You have that
I'm
voice.
just loving this show so much.
Thank
It's
you.
so hard for me not to butt in while I've been sitting here. The conversations are just so up my alley. I love it. It's so good.
I've been seeing you kind of, and then there was a
I
couple of
know.
times I was going to refer to you, and I realised that you actually weren't
and I
on camera
knew the
yet.
name of Robin Williams' movie. I wanted to ask you, Mitchell.
Yes.
This is, I mean, I know
No.
it's a bit off topic, but do you ever get celebrities coming in talking to you?
Yes, but
You
do you know,
do?
generally when this happens, it is normally when someone that person knew is either talking to me or on the other end of the phone or sitting before me. So it's not sort of like I can just,
Yeah.
say, okay, Michael Jackson or, whoever.
I was going
Are
to say
you
Michael
there?
Jackson.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson.
Must be in the ether. Are you there? But and I have had it happen where I've had a person sit before me and I've been reading them, and they'll say, and I won't reveal too many names because of privacy and confidentiality, and they'll say to me, and I'll say, my goodness me, this soul that I'm talking to reminds me so much of X, Y, and Z. And they go, yeah, that's because I'm their cousin, and that would make sense. And I'm like, you
Wow.
are kidding me. So I get starstruck, but I meet them from the spirit world.
I would still be starstruck though.
So do you get a sensation of that person, or do you visualise them, or do you hear them?
Sometimes I see them, and sometimes I hear them, and other times I feel. So that's seeing is clairvoyance, hearing
Yes.
is clairaudience. So that means clear hearing. Clairvoyance is
Yeah.
clear seeing. It's a French word. And clairsentience is clear feeling. So sometimes I see, hear, and feel, and it varies. It just depends.
From person to person.
From soul to soul, person to person,
My
exactly.
goodness.
That would be
Soul to
amazing.
soul.
Yeah, if you saw Michael Jackson moonwalking across the room.
Is it getting getting stronger with you as you get older?
I have found it's maintained itself constantly, you know. But there are certainly times, you could say, and I know when those times are, when sometimes it is, I mean, it's always very clear, but there are some occasions where it is so clear for, you know, over 2 hours I will hear them. But there is never really a time that I don't hear the spirit world, and I hear the spirit world often more than I see the spirit world.
Yes.
I hear them often, and they're talking in my ear. And, you know, even when driving here today, I was driving down the highway. I had a 2-hour journey, you know, driving along, and I literally had someone in the back seat of the car, and I called them spirit passengers, and I said, "Hello, who are you?" And, you know, and they told me some information so that I think you might, you know, you'll be helping me give a message tonight. So, and that hasn't happened just yet, but I'll let you know when that does happen.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so there you
I
go.
just had this image. Remember the
check-in.
movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg when she was in bed that night? She was going, "Leave me alone!" Yeah. He was singing. Was it 10 bottles or?
He was singing 10 bottles. Yes,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Just to get her
You
to.
really are never alone, are you?
No.
Really,
Correct.
it's good to know that.
Do you get psychic feelings and intuitive hits?
It's
Zoe?
interesting because earlier you were talking about the little granddaughter who can see her grandfather. When my grandmother passed away and I was really close to her, I started trying to speak to her, and because I've done it so much now, and like every day there's a part in Centennial Park where I'll be walking, and that's when I'll talk to her and say hello to the angels.
Beautiful.
And I think from practice, now it's almost like I'm having a conversation. And sometimes if I'm feeling a bit sad, it's almost like I can feel her arm around me. So,
that's so
yeah, it's
beautiful.
really
Spirit
nice.
touch.
Yeah,
And
it's
you are
spirit
having
touch.
a conversation with
Yeah,
her. So
but
absolutely.
when I'm meditating, or if I'm trying to write a meditation, because I write meditations, and I think I'm channeling them. I really do. Like, I think they're coming through me.
I
And-
find since I've been doing yoga more recently, when we have the meditation at the end of the class, I get the most profound messages that come through. And I know that they're not me because they're not things I've been thinking of. It might be about one of my family members
Do you
or a
get
friend.
anxious about that though?
No, I generally find that a tear, like I'll be laying down and I feel a tear, but it's generally a tear of joy. And it happens really quickly, and it's always when I meditate. So that's the direct line, and it feels amazing. So tell
I
me a
was
little...
meditating on Sunday morning and crying through the whole class. It was a guided meditation class. It was actually called Satsang, and it's a Shanti Mission class, and I go to one in Vaucluse, and I just had tears of joy.
Shanti Mission?
Yes.
With Shakti Durga?
Yes,
I
with
know
Shakti
her very
Durga.
well. She used to come on my radio show.
Isn't she lovely?
Yes, beautiful,
She's
gorgeous
amazing.
lady, yeah.
And their energy was so amazing that it was actual tears of joy. Like, I felt so much love in the room. It was so beautiful. So yes, the children's meditation.
So it's called Mini Meditations, and it's at your healing centre?
Well, no, they're on a website called zoesheridan.com. So you can download them. I think there's about 5 or 6 children's ones on there at the moment, which is some of the earlier ones I wrote because I'm not very high tech.
And you're now with Qantas as well.
Yes, well, those ones are $2.99, and then when you're flying with your children on Qantas from April, there will be 3 on the podcast. One of them's a really cool one that adults like as well. It's an astronaut one, so you get in your rocket. I think it might have 333 on the rocket actually, or something like that. And you go to the different planets and you learn about the chakras. So your base chakra, your root chakra is Mars, and then we have your sacral chakra, which is your love chakra. Your sex chakra is Venus. And then, of course, the solar plexus is the sun, and it goes up.
Well,
and
Venus is retrograde as of today.
Yes.
So
And
not
it's
too
such
much
a,
concentrating
I just think
on
that's such a
this.
great idea too, because I often see parents
absolutely.
on planes trying to calm their children down. And like, I fly over to the States a lot, and you've got that 14-hour flight.
Yeah.
And you see them with their children, and you think to them, is there something that they could listen to
Yes,
that
they
could
got
calm
a
them
packet
down?
of red snakes into them before they hopped on that aircraft. I'm afraid I've seen it before at the airport. You came in tonight with your 11/11 T-shirt
Yes.
on. What is the significance of 11/11 to you?
Okay, well, 11, there's so much about 11/11 I could tell you, and it's going to be hard to keep it very quick. But the really cool thing about when I first started learning about 11/11, I started seeing it, and a friend of mine, Ange, told me, my auntie's friend told me what it meant. And my brother would see it all the time, and then I realised it's actually a phenomenon right around the world. If you Google 11/11, so much will come up. And I've actually got a Facebook page, which is 11/11, so you can have a look, and there's all screenshots and things people have posted to me, and an Instagram. And the interesting thing is that if you put in your hashtag 1111, it's people all over the world in all different countries in different languages. So basically, when you see 1111, it's like a wake-up call because in general terms, it was when you see 1111, you make a wish. But what it means is it's like a portal. See how it's almost like gates?
Yes.
The gates of heaven are open and it's entering you into a different dimension, the fifth dimension. So your powers of manifesting are very high. So it's a reminder to think good thoughts, think about what you want in your life and feel, especially is really important, feel good feelings. So then it's actually a sign from the universe because you see it more and more often, as you were saying before, Steve, you'll see it before you go to bed. The universe is saying, think good thoughts. Remember, you create your own reality. So the universe is telling you, you create your own reality. We speak in different languages, like you might be Italian and I might be Australian, speak English.
My mother's family's Italian.
Well, there you go. That was just a guess. That wasn't my psychic guess.
And you do not look Italian, I have to say.
My dad's Irish.
Right.
What it is,
Because you look more Irish.
I'm just going to quickly tell you and then I will shut
This is
up.
fascinating.
No,
Do not-
because
no,
this
no.
is such a cool thing because the universe or God or source energy or whatever you want to call it is talking to you. You can speak to the universe. You just have to understand the different languages. So you're speaking to the universe in either prayer or thoughts or whatever and saying, give me a sign. The universe gives you signs back. It might be a song you hear on the radio. And it might be from someone who's passed over that you used to dance to or sing with. It might be feathers, it might be a butterfly or a coin. I loved the pennies from heaven, it was great. And one of the really big ones, because it's a universal language, is numbers. So we've got 1111 telling you to watch your thoughts, think positively. Then there's a whole lot. You can have 222, which means everything's okay. 333, which you were talking about a lot earlier on the show.
Yes.
And it's interesting because Roxy is so spiritual. It means the ascended masters are working with you, whether you call that Jesus or Krishna or Mother Mary or Kuan Yin, whatever. 444 means you're surrounded by thousands of angels. 555 means change. 666 means focus on your spirituality and give your money worries over. And this is just the nutshell for you. 777 is congratulations, you've made it. You'll often see that at the end of a big road trip or when you finished a project. 888 is abundance and 999 is get to work light worker.
Wow.
So there you go. And then there's all different combinations. Doreen Virtue put this book out in 2005, which is an awesome book.
Angel Numbers.
Angel Numbers, and it goes from number 1 to 999. But you can Google it now because we have
Yes.
We have
When
the
did you
internet.
become fascinated
You
in
do
the
have the
numbers?
internet.
I don't
the internet.
know, to be honest. I mean, I remember so long ago, you know, Rufus Wainwright has a song called 1111, you know, Woke Up This Morning 1111.
Yeah.
There is a club in Miami called 1111. In fact, there was one on Oxford Street in Sydney.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I've even got a hairspray thing called 11. So it's a
And
big
Mitchell
thing.
and I are both born
We're born on
the
11.
Yeah, and there's something very energetic about it. And Steve, you would know from your numerology because it's a master number like 22. So when I see 1122, I think it's amazing. It's like seeing 111111. Because 11
Yeah, especially
yes.
when
Yeah.
you see somebody's birthday, and I've seen you do it as well, Mitchell, because we see it pop up, and your readings about those birth dates are in accordance with that energy.
Yes, absolutely.
The 22nd of the 11th, only really an old soul could handle that journey because people who are born on the 22nd, and I'm sure there's a few of you, or you know somebody in your family, they're highly, highly sensitive. And as opposed to the 11, which is the spiritual messenger's number, the 22 is a spiritual master's number.
Yes.
And but I talk to a lot of people born on the 22nd, and they're not really aware. I say, do you know how powerful that number is? And they go, no. But if I said to them, you must get very strong feelings about people and things, they go, oh, yes. Those people with those birthdays, this
the
is what I'm
22.
alluding to, highly, highly super sensitive. So
You had a caller
they'll pick up.
tonight who was 22nd of the 11th. Did you know that?
No,
Their
I
birthday was 22nd of the 11th,
I'm going to find which one they
1946.
were.
Yeah, well, that would give them a 33 over 6
So,
people.
Yeah.
So you've just given them
So-
another great little
Yeah.
reading. They got a Mitchell reading
There you
and a
go.
Steve reading.
My
But
gosh.
it's interesting. I
There it
never,
is.
there's
Helen.
so much we learn.
Helen
I
Clement.
didn't know that, what you said. But
For you,
came
Mitchell.
into our
Okay.
studio
About the
tonight
lady moving.
And you had the 211.
22nd of the 11th.
I realised that Zoe was coming but I hadn't met Zoe before. And here you come in with this
Showcasing
11-11.
the 11-11.
And can I just say, Zoe, I love what you've said about 11-11.
Yes.
Because it's so true, isn't it? As you've said, it's a number of manifestation. And, you know, I always think it's a great reminder, as you've just suggested, for 1 minute before it gets to 11-12,
Yeah.
that you really concentrate and think carefully of what you're thinking. Because, like you say, your thoughts
Yes.
become themes.
You can even just go, I
love
life
that.
is good, I am blessed, I'm on the
Yeah.
right path.
And hold that
'Cause
space.
some people
Yeah.
say it means I'm on the right,
right
path.
path.
Some people say it means your twin flames coming in when you see it a lot, which
I
is
saw
like
11-11 twice yesterday, so I got it in the morning and the night, and about 3 or 4 days in the last week, and I attributed that to the fact that you were coming on the show.
Oh, I love that. It's interesting. I was having to make a decision one morning, and I was walking from my house down to Bondi Beach, and I was listening to podcasts. I was looking for some kind of spiritual podcast. There was 11-11 radio.
Oh, wow.
Broadcasting from America, and they have an 11-11 magazine. It's somewhere in California.
That-
It's really
that makes
interesting.
sense.
Some people
Definitely
take it
from
too
California.
far. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too far, but they say if you see 11-10, then whatever you're thinking about is not ready yet, but it might be soon.
Oh, that's
so you're a bit
interesting.
ahead of yourself. And if you see 11-12, you're falling a bit behind. But I don't worry about that. I think I just missed it.
To all
Almost.
the
It'll come
parents-
around again. The next
To all the parents
11-11.
that are listening in, how important is it for the kids to learn meditation?
Look, it's important for everyone because everyone's so stressed out. And
Yeah.
so this beautiful new generation of kids,
Who
look,
are stressed out.
you guys probably have spoken about indigo children and crystal children, which are very sensitive and very light workers. And look, meditation's good for anyone. I won't go down that path because it'll get too full
But
on.
it's been clinically proven
It really
in
does
so
help.
many ways.
Yeah, they do a lot of tests, not that many on kids actually, but on adults. But they have done them on kids, especially in America, and they've shown higher attendance rates at school and better grades, better relationships. They do improve behaviour in kids with ADHD and ODD and those kind of things. But the main thing with the ones that I do, it's not necessarily more mindful. I like to bring them in, have a chat with them, talk about what we're going to learn in that class, whether it's chakras or crystals. They love crystals.
Yeah.
One of their favourites is guardian angel meditation because they go in and they meet their guardian angel while they're meditating, and they come out and they paint the guardian angel and the names they come out with, because in the meditation I say, ask your guardian angel what their name is. I mean, they couldn't make it up. It's just out of this world. They're like names from Lemuria or Atlantis or something. You know, you're talking about other worlds before.
So they're channeling.
The Shanty
Yeah.
Mission, that sounds like Shanty Mission.
Yes, all those names.
Yes.
So they have these great meditations, and then they can do art, but they even just breathing techniques. If you can teach your kids to breathe into their bellies and into their side ribs just to calm themselves down, anything's good. You can Google meditations
Well,
as
a
well,
few
or go
years-
to my website,
Definitely go to the website.
zoesheridan.com.
You're off to India
ZoeSheridan.com.
tomorrow.
Yes.
But I just want to finish,
gonna
just to
do an
add to
Indian
this.
accent, I won't.
Was it-
I don't think we're allowed
I
to.
think, no, but you could do one very well, Steve.
That's right, Dad.
Several years ago, we can do it after the show, or together. Professor Bill Mobley, the chair of the neuroscience department at UCSD, California, San Diego University, he partnered with the Dalai Lama, and they were doing all of this work around it. And I was fortunate enough to actually be involved with them around this meditation project. And they were sourcing finance so that they could create a program to infiltrate into the school system in America, which is so necessary over there. Literally 5 minutes meditation every day for children between the age of 5 and 12. So you're bang on, seriously. So this is something that they have recognised, and they're pouring money into the research around the importance of it.
It's so good. There is actually a school in Baltimore where they replaced detention with meditation. And I think their aim was for the children who'd maybe misbehaved to focus and think about what they'd been doing.
Yeah.
But the benefits were so much more
What a brilliant
far-reaching
idea.
because the kids
Yes.
loved it. They wanted to do the meditation. And
So
also,
instead of being punished,
well, then they didn't act out then to go
Yeah.
into detention. They just wanted
I
to
thought
do
they
their
were deliberately
meditation.
playing up so they could then go into meditation.
Well, I think they would have figured that one out. But it's really, really good. And if you do, the other thing I can do is private sessions if you have a child, and I can always do them over Skype, and it's like a guided meditation that's personalised as well. But if you are flying, you can just listen to them on the podcast.
Or you can purchase them on the website.
yeah, $2.99.
And
That's
this is
so
on Facebook and
inexpensive.
YouTube forever.
Yes.
So,
And also,
if
we'll have a
people would-
link to it to our website as well.
If people would like to get in contact with you, how do we go about that? You may be besieged here with viewers.
Just ask Mitchell for my psychic.
ZoeSheridan.com.
Yes, look,
.au.
if you go to ZoeSheridan.com or Mini Meditation on Facebook, all the details are on there, like my email and possibly
And
my
when you
phone
want to
And
number.
we'll put it
Actually,
all on our Facebook as well.
When you're on radio next, we have to give you a radio show.
I don't know. Ask Mitchell. When am I on radio next?
There's lots in the pipeline for all of us, I believe.
That sounds
is that a
great.
We can all have a
I
beautiful
like that.
party.
Fantastic.
Great.
You are
Celebratory.
lovely, my dear. Thank you very
Thanks
much
for having me.
And what are you doing in
great.
India
It's 11,
quickly?
11.
What's happening
Well,
over there?
I'm going to an ashram in Pedam, which Shakti Durga introduced me to this beautiful
She was
ashram.
recently there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mitchell said I'm going to have a wonderful time, and I think I just am. I'm very excited. I'm really, really
it's gonna
excited.
be
I
magical.
couldn't sleep last night. I'm so excited. I woke up at like 3:45 in the morning, going, "Oh, I haven't packed."
Have you been to India before?
No, I've never
What an
been.
amazing
Have you been?
experience. No.
Has anyone on this panel been?
Everybody loves India.
They
Yeah.
do.
And it's part of the Commonwealth. Has been for years, because they're our brothers, aren't they?
Yes.
And our
They
sisters.
play cricket with us.
That's
Yes,
exactly
and they're
right.
very good at cricket too, let me tell you.
And they're also very good at meditating. So it's going to be really good. Yeah, very exciting.
Oh, I'll have to check in with you when you get back from there to see how
Well,
how
we
you
hope
fared.
to get you back soon.
You definitely.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much. I mean, I had the best time.
Thank you, Zoe.
Yeah.
Lovely having you here
After
with
the
us
India
too.
trip, so we can hear about it.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
I'd like to get in touch too with Zoe through our webpage, allaboutyouau@gmail.com. There it is on the screen, and we're going to go back to Mitchell very shortly. Zoe, thanks very much.
Thank
I love
you
it.
so
Lovely
much,
seeing
darling.
you, darling.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And also with your wonderful radio show, which I hope to be a guest on very soon. So it might happen. Now, let's camera 8. If we can just come back to Mitchell.
It's actually camera 5. Oh, no, camera 3.
I thought it was camera 3. I'm so
3.
confused by the numbers, Steve.
I don't know why you're throwing camera 8, Steve.
Oh,
There is no camera 8 in the studio, but
It's the infinity
it's in
symbol,
spirit.
right? It's infinity.
It's a
What
camera
goes
in
around
spirit.
comes around, and
I'm
yes.
making things look bigger than what they actually are. We've got Neptune in Pisces at the moment.
Which is all delusional, isn't it?
Talking of Neptune, which rules the seas, you are bigger than ever on the ships. And
Yes.
tell us about that, because it's... But you know what? The shipping company apparently can't fit enough people into the rooms where you're entertaining.
Yes, well, I love doing transformational events at sea, because, you know, when you're at sea, you don't have access to your cell phone or to your mobile phone or to anything like that. So, you know, you really can be really focused on developing your intuition, meditating, and forgetting about that outside world and taking a journey into an inside world. So I love, each year I often take a group of 60 to 70 people, sometimes 100. It just depends if the ship has enough space for the actual function rooms, where we do an intense week. So where I teach everything from crystals to meditation to learning to sense the spirit world, or at least feeling your loved ones gather around you, through understanding the language of signs. We talk about chakras. We talk about using a pendulum, auras, how to sense energy. So, and I have people from all walks of life that attend these events, and it really is a life-changing transformational week at sea. You come back and you think, wow, I just feel so much more open and aware, and we've seen wonderful transformations take place. And so, of course, my next cruising is next year in January. So, and it's almost full to capacity at the moment as we speak. So if anyone's interested and would like to come and spend a week with me, 12 nights on the beautiful Australian Great Barrier Reef cruise,
Oh, my goodness.
please do get in touch through my website, mitchellcoombes.com, as soon as you can, because I do think within the next week or so it will
sell
be
out.
full, because I've had word from the travel agent that we work with that it is basically nearing capacity, and we need to make a decision to stop because the room only holds so many people.
And we'll put all those details on Facebook, and we've got the graphics up on screen for that. I've recently returned from a cruise, and I think the thing that's so enticing and relaxing and life-changing for me is being completely separated from society and
Yeah.
unplugged for a certain number of days. I didn't check my phone. I didn't look at my emails. I forgot about Facebook, and I just enjoyed looking out at an expanse of ocean, and nothing more. No land.
And the power of the sea and the ocean is very potent, because the
Yes.
ocean and the water is a conductor for energy. So when you're working and you're developing, you're tuning into your psychic abilities, your own spirituality, and even wanting to go deeper into meditation, the water is a great conductor for energy, and it really helps you to get into that space.
Yes.
And what I love exactly is what you've just said, is that, you know, you really do disconnect from the outside world, so you can be 100% immersed and really invested and focused in yourself. And I always just, you know, what I love about cruising, of course, the other side of it is that you want for nothing. It is it's a pampering experience.
Oh my Lord,
I cannot
you
tell
are
you
not exaggerating.
how amazing it is.
Any time of the day, whatever you want, go to the pool, have something to eat, to drink. There's a myriad of activities available.
It is like a floating
at your
oasis
door.
resort at sea.
I know.
And I used to think, oh, cruising won't be for me. I don't know that I'd enjoy being on a cruise. I used to be very one of those, oh, I don't know about that. Will I get seasick, or I'm not sure? Oh my goodness me, I love it. I literally look up online often at the different cruises just to see how many more I can do. Because I don't, but I
think they're
love
actually
them.
quite addictive. I've been on 6 or 7 now. I always go once a year with my family. It's a way that we all get to come back together, and we can sort of escape from each other during the day, and we all meet up sort of, you know, ceremonially for dinner at night. But it's such an amazing experience, and there's no other holiday like it.
There isn't. There really isn't. For me, I love it. And my favorite thing is being out at sea, and just in a real beautiful space with lovely people, and sharing so much information with them to help them on their spiritual journey.
This segment's brought to you by Princess.
No, it's the Royal Caribbean. We're on a Royal Caribbean cruise.
This has been brought to you by Royal
Celebrity
Caribbean.
Solstice.
Get your ships right, Steve.
Oh, now we better get back to questions here, because
Otherwise, you're going to have to set
Yes.
sail on that one. Okay, we've got back to the questions, and I have to put my glasses on because Mark didn't print it small and large enough for me. No, it's okay. I've got my glasses on now. I think they're a bit uneven. Mitchell.
Yes.
Okay, we have Donna Burwal.
Hi, Donna.
The subject is my beautiful mum.
Okay.
We lost Mum 3 years ago in January. I miss her so much. My brother and myself cared for her for almost 2.5 years. I still blame myself for her death. She was very unwell, but there was an accident and it ended up causing her to go unconscious, and unfortunately we couldn't save her.
Okay. Hi, Donna. Donna's the name of this lady, isn't it?
Yes, Donna.
Sorry. Hi, Donna. I was a little distracted there because I was hearing your beautiful mum in the spirit world tapping me on the shoulder and hearing her talk to me. And I have to say to you, she's just saying to me here, it's not your fault, and that you shouldn't feel guilty around her passing, because you may feel that the reason why she has passed is because of something that had happened, but she keeps saying to me, you weren't to know, and it was like an accident. And she keeps saying to me, please don't hold yourself prisoner or feeling as though you can't move forward with your life because she's upset with you, because your mum is just saying to me she's not upset with you. I feel that your mum's telling me here, she's showing me that she often holds your face in her hands, and she looks into your eyes and she's whispering to you, I love you more than words can describe. So there's a lot of love in her heart for you, Donna, and for your brother, and she's actually saying thank you for giving me permission to let go. You must have said to your mum, it's okay to let go and go with God and the angels, and she's just saying thank you for giving me permission to let go. That's such a beautiful thing. Your mum is talking about stars and stars in the sky, and that you need to look to the brightest star in the sky, because I feel that's a sign that she will send to you. It's one of your personal signs that she is there, that she is around. I feel that your mum is happy. I feel that she's safe, and I feel that she's at peace. And she tells me that she can breathe again. So there seems to be a feeling of, she says, I can breathe again over here. So I have to tell you, whatever physically was going on with her physical body here on the earth, it's not affecting her, of course, in the spirit world. And she is at peace, and she's very happy. So just know that she loves you very much. She's telling me you've had an uphill battle over the last 3 months, but that is actually going to change. There seems to be changes coming around you, Donna, for your financial situation. I feel you'll be much more sound and feeling much more stable in the near future. Your mum sends her love, okay? And I'll just finish on a card for you, Donna, a Psychic Soul Oracle card here. And I'll just give them a bit of a quick shuffle just to mix them through. And I'm just focusing here now on Donna. And a beautiful message for you, Donna, is love. So I feel everything's coming together, but you're also being told to really focus on your self-love, loving you, loving yourself, not blaming yourself, not being hard on yourself, and just remembering that, you know, we all do things in life that sometimes we regret, but I'm being told you didn't make a mistake. Your mum loves you very much, and she's sending you her love, and just trust that she is there and by your side because she is. And the retreat card is about you going within. So taking time out for yourself to nourish you. That's very important for you this year. You're all things to all people, Donna. You now need to be all things for you because you deserve the best. Look after yourself, won't you? Thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
beautiful again. Oh, okay.
You're tearing up there, Viv.
I know, that was just
It's an
lovely.
emotional reading
Yeah.
for you. You're an empath. Viv, you're very naturally, you can feel people's
I do.
energies. You feel things.
When
on
I
that very
was
deep
young,
level.
I was so sensitive. It was, my mum used to say, oh, I'm not sure if I can take Vivian into this room full of people because I would, and
very
when I was
sensitive.
young, I used to have very strong feelings about spirit as well. And
Wow.
yeah.
There you go.
But anyway, just a few shout outs Marg has given me here from some of our viewers at home, and thank you very much. We have Jeanette, Demi, Gwen, Marie and Megan. And also, I'd like to say a special thank you to Linda Dadich, who gave me this dress as a gift because she said, I know that every week you're trying to look for a new outfit to wear on this show. So she gave it to me as a gift of love. She's a beautiful
that's
friend
very
of mine. I
nice,
love her
Linda.
dearly. And I just wanted to say thank you. Much, much appreciated. So they're the shout outs.
Hello to all our lovely shout outs.
Yay! Thank you for
Thank
watching,
you very
guys.
much. Thank you.
All right, and we're up to Karen.
Okay.
Now, this subject is about the significance of death on a birthday.
Okay.
Hello, my dad passed away on my birthday, which was the day after his birthday. Can you tell me if there's any significance to this, as he passed away close to my time of birth? So not only did he pass away the day after his birthday, it was close to her time of birth.
Wow. And he passed on her birthday. Is that right?
Yes. So he passed away on her birthday.
Wow.
Which was the day after his birthday, but he passed away near the time she was born.
Wow. And that's Karen.
Yes, Karen.
Okay. Hi, Karen. Thank you very much for your question. And what an interesting question your question is. I think it's a marvellous question. And is there a significance to the date of your father's passing and the time of his passing and the birthdays? My feeling is yes. Yes, there is. And I want to say to you here, Karen, a few things. The first is I feel that your dad's passing on your birthday is symbolic in the sense that his passing is really his second birth. Because as I said earlier on the program, I don't believe that we die. I believe that we just transition from this earth into the spirit world. We move from one realm to another. We change address when it is time. And so your dad's passing from us here on the earth plane is really his rebirth back into the spirit world. So in actual fact, your dad celebrates a spiritual birthday on your birthday, and you celebrate, of course, your birthday. And your beautiful dad's just whispering here in my ear. He's got a funny personality. He's a lovely man. He's just saying to me here, Karen, that he doesn't want you to feel that you can't celebrate your birthday or feel awkward or feel uncomfortable about that. And I don't feel that you do, but he's just saying to me, please don't ever feel that way, because he's right there celebrating your special day there with you. But the significance, I feel, is because he wants you to remember him, and he wants you, which of course you would do, but he wants you though to share your birthday with his passing and celebrate his life. As you're celebrating your birthday, you're celebrating your dad's life, which, as I said, is really his spiritual birth back to the spirit world, back where we come from, back what we call home. So I want you to know that your beautiful dad is around you. Please don't ever feel bad about having your birthday at the same time that he's passed. And I feel it's so interesting that even the actual time of your birth, you were mentioning in your question here, it seems to coincide or be very close to the timing of when your dad passed. So it just goes to show you that there is a connection. And I need to also say to you too, in some instances, I believe that things can be fated for us before we incarnate, before we come into life. And I actually feel for you, Karen, that it was almost destined that your dad would pass on your birthday. And it wasn't to be known, but it's happened in that way. He's a beautiful man. He's sending all of his love to you. Keep a lookout for birds. He sends birds to you as your special sign that he's around. And a quick card for you, Karen, is direction. And your beautiful dad, and what I'm being shown here through the Psychic Soul Oracle cards, is that you seem to have a lot more clarity, a lot more focus, and a lot more direction for you throughout all aspects of your life, but in particular with aspects of your work and your career. Okay, he's sending his love to you. Thank you so much for your question, and celebrate your birthday. And that's such a special thing, such a special synchronistic event to happen. I really feel that's quite special, really.
I, just a couple of nights ago, was sitting up late at night watching, as you do, YouTube, and I follow a group in America called IANS, the International Association
Right.
of Near-Death Studies, and they have people that get up and talk about their near-death experiences when they've had very close calls with death
Yes.
or been clinically dead for a period of time or pronounced dead and resuscitated. And this lady that I watched in this one particular interview, she was talking about how she considered it a rebirth.
Wow.
And exactly as you were just saying then, it's like being reborn.
Wow. Yeah.
And she said in that case, she feels that the day that she passes will be her birthday.
Wow. And very well could be.
Yeah, very true.
Anything
Now,
is
this,
possible. You know, and I always say, you know, in this experience, you know, sometimes fact is stranger than fiction. You hear of so many different experiences, people's encounters with angels and guides and loved ones that have passed, and also psychic experiences. Like, in fact, I wrote about a lot of people's experiences with feeling, you know, the unknown or sensing the extraordinary in my second book, In Sensing Psychic, and we touch a little bit on the past life aspect and what you've sort of just spoken about, and reincarnation aspect as well. And you know, some people say, wow, that is such an unbelievable story to hear. But, you know, sometimes fact is stranger than fiction.
That is so true.
We're going to keep moving on here. Now, this question
I've been handed a phone.
Yes, it's,
Again.
it's a little bit complex here, but Jenny writes in, look, I just want to know if I have my older brother in spirit world still looking over us with my dad, because we really need to ask Michael, this is where the question gets a little bit confusing.
Yes.
I believe somebody's passed over here with cancer. Can we
Yeah.
hold this phone up to the microphone?
I think the sun has not
Yeah.
quite passed yet. The one has, and the other one is still ill.
Oh, okay.
And I think she's asking if you can get any support with the son that's helping. He's fighting his battle
Are you
at the
there,
moment.
Jenny?
Yes, I am.
Hello, Jenny, it's Mitchell here. How are you?
Good. Very nervous.
Please don't be nervous. It's only me you're talking to. And Stephen Viv at the table. It's and the spirit world. Now, so I can understand your question. There seems to be a little confusion at the table. Now, you're asking about your older brother. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he's passed to the spirit world, because as I'm hearing your voice, Jenny, I must say to you, he comes through straight away. He wastes no time, and he's wasting no time in coming through. And now, has your father passed as well?
Yes.
Your dad's coming through with him. So I've got your brother and I've also got your dad coming through with him, and they're both coming through together is what they're just showing to me here. And they're telling me that they're together and that they're happy in the spirit world. That's very, very, very important. I need to say to you, I feel that they're actually, you've asked about, now you're asking about someone who's been unwell. Is that right?
Yep.
He keeps your dad's talking about him. And your dad's just saying, I don't know if that's his brother, he's just saying to me, I'm watching over him and I'm helping him, giving him the strength that he needs to pull through, is the feeling I keep getting. Is it your uncle that's been unwell?
My brother.
Your brother. Okay.
Yes, their son and their brother.
Yep, that's okay. He's talking about him. And I have to just say to you, he's just saying to me, your brother's a very strongly willed man. He's got very strong willpower, and his strength seems to lend to him very, very, very well. So I want you just to know that I feel that I can't tell you the outcome of things regarding the health, because I'm not a doctor. I play doctor on TV, but I'm not a doctor, no. But what I want to say to you, Jenny, is that I do feel that they're saying to me that they're sending him healing energy. They're sending him love. They're sending him healing energy, okay? Yeah. Who's Peter or who's Paul? Who's got the P-sounding name?
Don't know. Not a brother? No.
No, I've got your dad calling out to Peter.
Peter.
Yes, your dad's calling out to a Peter that I feel's with him in the spirit world. So just know that there are other people that are around your dad, and it's okay, you can have a think later on, because there might be people around your dad that you maybe weren't aware of, that you didn't know.
He knew everyone.
I know, because I know he did, because he's got a whole crowd of people around him, because he's the kind of person that people like to talk to, is what he's just showing to me here. And I have to just say to you, your dad loves you very much, and he's telling me with your own health, you're okay, but you just need to find ways to de-stress, because you're a tummy stressor. You tend to worry too much about things. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a very, very important thing for you. But your beautiful brother, he's saying he's sorry for leaving you in the way that he left you. He says, can you please, Mitchell, can you please tell my sister, I'm sorry for leaving her in the way that I left her. Does that make sense to you? Because I feel like there's a lot of sadness around his, I mean, naturally there's sadness around any passing, but there is a lot of sadness around his passing. I almost feel that he passed before his time. I've got to be honest with you. I feel like he passed far, far, far too soon. He's telling me, I'm being shown a lot of question marks, and when the spirit world, Jenny, shows me question marks, it can be because there is a lot of unanswered questions around their actual passing, or that they were very confused before they passed. His passing was sudden, wasn't it?
Yeah, very sudden.
Because he's just saying he was here one moment and then he was on the other side the very next. And he's telling me, sorry, sweetheart?
He was electrocuted?
Yeah, it was a shock. I was about to say to you, he was electrocuted. I was about to say to you, he wasn't thinking he was going to go out for the day or go off to work for the day and then not come back. And that's what shocked everybody. You know, and you know what he's telling me? He's telling me that he should have used the back of his hand when testing something, not the front. Because he's saying if he uses the front or something, he would grab on. But if he uses the back, the electricity, I don't know what he means. He's talking about his hands. I've got to say to you, he didn't feel any pain because he tells me his soul left his body very quickly, is the way to put this. But he did go into some kind of a, I hate to say this, but I don't want to cause you unnecessary distress, but Jenny, he's talking about being in some kind of a comatose state or something, or not being fully awake and fully aware after this. So I don't know if they did try to take him to hospital. They tried to save him, he's saying to me. You, Jenny, did you sit with your brother after he had passed, did you? Because he's talking about someone that was there talking to him and spoke words to him. And he's saying to me he heard every word.
No, the one that's sick now.
Your other brother?
Yes.
He sat there with him and held his hand and he spoke to him. Let Noel know that his brother's watching over him, giving him strength, giving him support. All right. I feel that very, very, very strongly. And your dad's there with you, you know. He really is. And he's telling me you didn't get to say goodbye to him before he passed away. And he's just saying to me, but there are no goodbyes. And I feel very strongly of your dad actually being around you. Your dad liked to collect things, you know, Jenny, because he's a collector. He liked to hold on to things. Would you say that he used to hold on to things all the time?
Yes, me. I'm the same. I'm like him.
Really? You're a collector. You like to hold on to things too. Listen, sometimes you've got to just clear through things as best as you can. I don't mean to say let go of everything, but you're a very resourceful lady. You'd like to hold on to things. Oh, I wish I could. I just can't convey to you enough, Jenny, how much they love you and how strongly they are both around you, and that they are together and that they are rallying around your beautiful brother who's here on the earth, who's very unwell, they're saying to me. But they're giving him the strength to help him find his own strength. They're sending him healing. They will always, always, always be there for him, Jenny. All right. Jenny, I'm going to...
I feel like they've gone. That was my question I meant to write on that thing. I feel like they've gone really quiet and I don't hear from them.
No, they're there. It's just that sometimes they do and they don't. Our loved ones can always find peace, but just because they find peace and move on does not necessarily mean that they're going to leave us behind, because I know that our loved ones come to visit us quite often, and at times sometimes we're just not aware that they're there. And if you begin to do some meditation or have some quiet time and just talk to them, they're just saying to me that they are there for you. They haven't moved on. And you'll actually start to feel them and you'll hear them again. But they are around you, Jenny. They absolutely are. And to help you, Jenny, with connecting with them, I'm going to gift you my books, both Sensing Spirit and also Sensing Psychic, and some incense. Do you like burning incense?
Oh, I've got them, yes, constantly.
Well, you'll love this. It's a beautiful fragrance that I've developed. And as you light the incense stick, you say a prayer or you send a healing message to your loved ones, and the smoke of the incense will literally carry your prayer, your intention to the heavens and beyond. And that's why I created that for you. So in the Oracle card. So I have a whole gift pack coming out to you, and I want to thank you so much for your call, and I wish you all the very best. And I really hope you feel you've been able to receive a little bit of healing and love with those messages.
Yep, thank you. Can I ask you, I'm going to Bali on Saturday, will it be okay?
Yes, you'll be safe.
I'm a procrastinator.
No, you'll be safe, you'll be fine. And you know what's so interesting? I just drew the meditation card, which is all about relaxation, stillness, having some time to yourself. So you'll be pampering yourself. And
that's why I'm going.
Yeah,
My sons have sent me and told me to be brave and go.
Well, you need to. And can I just say to you, and I need to say to you, Jenny, your beautiful brother and also your dad will be there with you in the spirit world, and you'll feel them. They're going on this trip with you. Your dad's really excited because he never went anywhere, he tells me.
No, he didn't. He didn't ever leave Shell Harbour.
That's right. Never left Shell Harp. There you go. He said, I never went anywhere, but he's going to go with you, so he'll be there to support you. So all the very best and safe travels.
And I'm going on the 11th.
Oh, wow. Another connection with the 11. There you go.
The 11th tonight. And I went, oh, my God. My husband said, what's with the number 11? You keep harping on about going on the 11th. I said, I don't know. I've just got to go to the 11th.
Well, there you go. Well, you know what? All the very best. It's meant to be. And your beautiful brother and dad are there guiding you. And you let your other brother know that he'll be okay. You know, they're watching over him. He's got nothing to fear.
Oh, good.
All right,
good,
sweetheart.
We all need to know that. Yes.
Thank you so very much for your call, and you have a beautiful evening.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I can't believe it. All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Say prayer for me in Bali.
We will do. We'll hold that space for you.
Thanks, Jenny,
Thanks,
for ringing
Jenny.
in there. And well, just a reminder, too, we've got Amanda Hall coming up. We're going to be talking about Mercury, the planet of communication.
This is fun doing these readings with a telephone.
Instant
the reason I
feedback.
just get you to hold that up is so we can hear that into the
That's
microphone.
okay. All
But
right.
it was wonderful because often when we do the readings, it's difficult to get the instant feedback. And she was validating what you were saying,
Yeah.
especially the part about him going so quickly.
Yeah.
And I could hear her voice choking up, and it was
It
just...
was hard for this poor lady, you know, to be able to express her emotions. I feel that she was overwhelmed, but the love that her loved ones have for her is just beautiful. You know, upstairs has a lot of respect for her.
And also
Jenny.
with Zoe talking about 11/11 tonight and her going on the 11th, and Zoe sort of saying that's be positive.
Yes.
You know, be grateful to go, to be positive
Exactly.
about it, to enjoy it, and to feel confident.
And her dad's going with her, and her dad, like the lady, like Jenny had said, never left Shell Harbour because her dad was saying, I never went anywhere.
When he said he's never gone anywhere,
never
she
gone
said
anywhere.
he never even left Shell
No.
Harbour.
Yeah, and he will
Wow.
this time, and he's excited to go with her. So it just goes to show you, our loved ones do often travel with us, and they are around us. Talk to them because they are there.
Mitchell, where do you feel you're most popular? In like what city?
Oh, I don't know. I've never. That question is.
lovely.
That's a very random
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Steve.
You mentioned Wollongong, and because I get things coming through all the time. But
He does.
I feel Wollongong loves you.
Well, I love Wollongong. I love
Yeah.
all places. You know, I always
Wollongong's beautiful.
There are
Yeah,
so
lovely
many places that are
people,
beautiful, and
Wollongong.
I always just find I don't mind where I am as long as I'm with people that I'm able to help.
Yeah, that's why I asked you that question, because I just got. Are you going to Wollongong at all?
Later this year, I actually am. I'm
Well,
at there's a
it's
psychic
going-
expo
well, it's
down
gonna be
there
quite significant
that
for
I will
you.
be at.
So
Details are on my
that's
website
why
for
I
that.
asked.
There you go.
And we're going as well.
Oh, there you
we're
go.
all going down, so that should be great. Be a great few.
Now we've got one more question.
One
here
more
as well.
question. Okay. Gosh, are you doing all right?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much.
You have so much energy.
show that
It's like you
just
just
keeps on
keep
giving.
manifesting your energy. It's beautiful. Okay, so this one is from Sandra.
Okay.
Her date of birth is the 3rd of December 1960.
Yep.
Mitchell, I often feel my mum Colleen at night as soon as I climb into bed and start saying my prayers. I'm sure it's her. Could you ask her to tell me something to validate that it's her in my bedroom? Mitchell, could you please tell me which direction I should go in when seeking employment? Which
Okay.
area of employment would be good for me?
Okay.
Thank you.
So Sandra, what I'm doing here is I'm just sketching, and it will look like scribble to a lot of people. But as I do this is just a form of me being able to tune into the spirit world. This is something I like to do. And as I draw these circles, I'm just getting a lot of information already here. Okay. Firstly, Sandra, I feel that your mum Colleen is there with you in your bedroom, and she's just telling me here, Sandra, she's a beautiful lady, your mum. She's just saying to me that she often sits on the end of your bed and she watches over you as you fall asleep at night, and you will pick up when your mum is there, because at times there will be a change in smell. So I don't know if you might smell a beautiful perfume or a particular type of scent or flower, but she's just showing that to me here. And so your mum is just saying, can I let you know that she's there, and she's often watching over you. She sits on the end of your bed, and she tells me, I don't know if you are sleeping to the, hang on, let me just figure this out. If this is the bed, and then if these are the pillows here. Yeah, I feel like you're sleeping more to the right side of the bed is what she's just showing me here. But she sits on the end and she watches over you as you're falling asleep, and she's saying, do talk to her, because she's there to listen. She's there to try and help you and to guide you from the spirit world. And as you've asked about your career or what direction you need to be pursuing, I must tell you, I have such a beautiful green colour in my mind's eye. And I feel that if you were sitting before me, you would have a green in your aura, the colour green, which is the symbol of the healer. Okay, green and blue are the healing colours, and I see them actually both now around you. And I must say say to you, I feel any kind of work or in the profession of care-based work or working around nursing or some form of care, helping other people and doing care-based work, it comes so naturally to you. You are extremely gifted, very naturally gifted. In those directions. So I would encourage you, if you haven't thought of that, to maybe consider doing something that allows you to be able to help other people and care for them. It comes very naturally to you. So just know that there for you. But your beautiful mum says it's her, and she is there with you in the room, and ask her to let her know, to let you know that she is there. But she is, you know, and you'll smell, you'll get this, the change, or the air might feel heavy. There will be a change, or lighter. There will be a change in the atmosphere around you, but she does come in around you very, very, very strongly. And she's just telling me the neck and shoulder pain that you get, you need to look into that, because you often carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You want to be there for all people. And like I said, you'd be a great carer or working in care-based work, but just remember to also care for you as well. And let's draw a card as well for this lovely, lovely lady. And let's just see what comes up here in the Psychic Soul Oracle cards. I'm going to just pop my little clipboard out of the way, and we'll give that a... Ooh, now when cards jump out at me, that's always a message to pay extra special attention. And the card here that's just jumped out as we were shuffling was dreams and visions. The butterfly of dreams and visions. So it also says to me, not only is your mum there for you when you're sleeping and in your room, but pay attention to the dreams that you're having as well, because I do feel she'll come to you through dreams, and that's one of the signs she'll send to you to let you know that she is there. Now, the card we're going to draw for you is new ideas. So lots of new ideas, inspiration, study, learning. So perhaps going down the path of one of those chosen career fields I've just spoken about will require you to learn some additional skills, but you certainly will be on track if you do anything around care-based work, healing, even Reiki, you know, even holistic-based therapies or care-based work in some way would be a wonderful direction for you to take. So I wish you all the very best. And thank you very much for your question this evening.
Thank you very much, Sandra. Have we got room for one more? Is it on our list here?
Oh, okay, most definitely.
I'd love to do one more.
Dreams and visions
I hope to get to everybody. I'm so sorry we've been unable to get to every single person that's written in.
You've worked
All
so
questions
hard,
are important,
and you've really been so attentive to every single one of them.
And then we'll get Amanda coming up, who's going to be talking about Mercury.
Yes.
Lovely. So what's this question you'd like to...
Do you have it there, Steve?
Yes. Sylvia writes in, my subject is about soulmate and where is my life heading. My soulmate passed away 3 years and seems I have had no direction in my life since then. Where am I heading?
Well, you're at the moment going through a lot of healing still, I have to tell you. And please don't rush your healing process. It can take time. Don't let anybody tell you, well, it's been 3 years or what have you. And, you know, you're going through a healing process. And I do feel that your soulmate in the spirit world comes through very nicely and very clearly for you. And I must say to you, I do feel that direction is coming for you, because they are showing me here the months of October and November. I see the numbers 10 and 11 very clearly right over this question. So I must say to you, in October and November, I feel you will have a major turning point in your life, and you will have clarity of what to do and the best way forward. I also want to say to you too that I do feel that you're going to have another soulmate that I feel is going to enter your life, and it will be through an introduction being made to you. I don't feel it's through internet dating or anything like that, you know. It's through an introduction that I feel is being made to you. So as in someone that you know, a friend or a colleague that says, hey, have you met this person, by the way? So I feel an introduction will be made to you, and I have to say to you, there's a beautiful soulmate connection there. So I don't feel that you'll end up on your own, and I certainly don't feel you'll end up being single. To me, this man works with his hands, because I'm being shown his hands. So he could be a trades, but works in a trade. He's a very hands-on based worker. I'm being told he has very striking eyes, and you'll be very drawn to his eyes when you meet him. It will be a magnetic attraction. So just keep that in mind. And I have to say to you, he'll be a wonderful companion for you. So I do feel that there's a beautiful soulmate connection that is coming in for you, and I do feel that you will find clarity and you will find focus. But just hold off now for October and November. And in the meantime, as in between now and then, use this time to continue focusing on yourself, looking after you, putting yourself first, doing your own healing work, you know, taking care of you, because you've always been there for other people. It's now time for you to be there for you. Okay, and let's just draw a card here as well. So I'm going to fan these cards out this time, and I'm going to use my hand to sense the energy of where I feel we need to be. And I feel this is the card for you. Oh, wow. With second time. Dreams and
goodness.
visions again. So, again, don't just pay attention to your dreams, but also pay attention to any thoughts or visions. You may have when you have a daydream and you have that thought that goes through your mind, you think, oh, pay attention to those thoughts, because I believe you are receiving intuitive thoughts and intuitive guidance that will help to point the way forward for you. Again, new ideas, but you also have the blank card. Now, the blank card's very special. I'm pleased it's come out here in one of these readings. The blank card represents that there are no obstacles standing in your path. It represents that a clearing is taking place in your life. The blank card represents that the universe has bigger plans for you than you may have for yourself. So what it says to me is you really will find that from October, November, there, as I said, there is a major turning point and there is a huge clearing that's taking place in your life right now, bringing you the healing that you need and also the direction that you've inquired about. So it will be there for you.
Thank you very much, Sylvia, for writing in.
Good luck,
We are
Sylvia.
going
That's
to
a great
get-
thing to look forward to.
We're going to get Amanda on Skype, I believe, and she's going to
Mercury retrograde.
be talking about... I don't
And
think
here
we've
she
got her
is.
At the moment.
Yes, she is. She is here right now. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, Lady Amanda.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
You're really busy, I can see.
Lovely to see you.
Right down to it tonight. We're going to be talking about Mercury. I know you've been teasing people throughout the show, Steve, about Mercury retrograde, but we'll leave that for another show because Mercury does actually go retrograde in April, so we'll spend a little bit more time on that at another date. So tonight we're going to be talking about the planet of communication. Now, it's interesting because a lot of people don't really understand what communication is. They think, oh, yes, that's the voice that we use, or, having a conversation. But communication takes on many forms. It can be the written form. It can be words in a song. It can be the way we communicate this day and age with all our electronic devices. And I loved Mitchell saying him and technology don't get on. I think it must be part of our industry, Mitchell. I have to say
It must be.
I share that with you. We're like brother and sister in that way. So it's interesting that all different forms of communication, and people tend to sort of just think of the written or the spoken word, but communication, and I sometimes share this with my clients, can also be in the form of having an argument. Sometimes we have to get angry to get our point across or to be heard. So there's all different levels of communication, from written word, spoken word, from miming, the arts, when we go and see a movie, when we watch the television, or we watch any multitude of these ways that we can communicate now with all the YouTubes and the Netflixes and the everything else. So communication is all around us, and it's something that we all do on a daily basis. Some of us are better at it than others. Some of us really don't like talking about particularly our feelings, but we might be great in a job. We're trained to talk about the things that we're employed to do. So don't always judge somebody because they're a great salesman and they can sell you a mop. Does that necessarily mean that they're great at communication in their private life? Usually you quite often find the exact opposite. And for a lot of people that have, we all have Mercury in our chart. It's just a matter of which energy Mercury's in. But if Mercury was retrograde at your birth, what that means is basically the planet of communication's got a ball and chain around it, and you have to find different ways of expressing yourself. You may not be great with the written word, but you might be the greatest songwriter ever born to the planet, because that's your way of expressing your Mercury. So your Mercury will work doubly hard as someone else that doesn't have Mercury retrograde. So we're going to start our 4-part series. Tonight we're working with Mercury in the first 3 signs, and I tried to make it a little bit interesting and a little bit different tonight, in as much with the famous people, to try and point out the differences and the different types of communication that we can have. So if you're fortunate enough or blessed to have Mercury in Aries, the energy of Aries doesn't change. Aries energy is always me first, fiery, outspoken, let's get down to it, let's get it all happening, I want to speak about everything right now, let's move on. So that's, the energy doesn't change. Sometimes people with Mercury in Aries sometimes tend to be known for sort of so fast at talking that we have to say, well, hang on a minute, draw breath. I need to catch up. I haven't been able to download everything that you've said. And it doesn't mean that they're more intelligent than the rest of us. It's just their way. And particularly sometimes when they get excited, they can really talk really, really fast. And I know a lot of psychics are very pronounced at doing that, and I'm one of them. And I know Mitchell can do the same thing too. We talk at 100 miles an hour because the information's coming so thick and fast, we've got to get it out there. And
That's
I don't
right.
have Mercury in Aries, thank goodness, because it would be even worse if that was the case. So my first famous person I'm going to talk about tonight with Mercury in Aries is Charlie Chaplin. Now, I thought that was really the epitome of someone finding a different way to express their form of communication. He was very, very well known for all the silent movies and entertaining us and expressing his communication through those very early days of film. Diana Ross. Now, for those that love the soul music, I think there's nobody more beautiful than Diana Ross. When she opens her mouth to sing, we all just sort of stand to attention and just listen to the songbird. So they're two very different examples of Mercury in Aries. When we get to Mercury in Taurus, now this is where, you know, sometimes again the Taurian energy gets bad press. People tend to sort of think that, oh, well, they're going to be selfish or they're going to be self-centred and only want to take the communication back to them. That's not the case. When we have Mercury in Taurus, it usually means the person is very articulate in the way that they deliver their message. Things slow down drastically. It's a little bit like the country man that's standing there on the end of his shovel having a talk about the sheep. You know, it seems like he's got all the time in the world and he's telling you this yarn and you're thinking, but I only stopped for directions. I didn't want to stay here for 3 hours. That's a Mercury in Taurus. So famous people that have Mercury in Taurus, Sigmund Freud. Now, I know he was very synonymous for the different ways that he looked at people's emotions and how he taught people to communicate their feelings and understand their feelings in a very different way. Then we go on to Cher. Now, look, I mean, I know we've mentioned Cher before on this show, but she does have a way of communicating in not just her song and not just in the words that she says, but she takes the form of communication, I think, all the way through her videos. It tells a story. It's not just I'm singing a song. She puts her heart and her soul into it, and she likes to create the whole drama that goes with the song. The final sign tonight we're going to be working with is Mercury in Gemini. I mean, Mercury in Gemini is just at home because Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury. So anybody that's a chatterbox, anybody that's in the television industry usually has a very strong Gemini somewhere in their chart, and quite often they have Mercury in Gemini because it gives them that ability to think on their feet, to be very quick, to be able to ad-lib, talk themselves in and out of situations very, very quickly, and it's like they just snap their fingers and the information comes running. So it's interesting because those sort of people that have Mercury in Gemini would be very, very good and very quick to get ideas or to be able to formulate those ideas into something that we can all take notice of or want to listen to. Paul McCartney, one of the greatest songwriters in the world. You know, we think of Lennon and McCartney and we think of, well, they are the epitome of songwriting. So it's interesting Paul McCartney has that. And the final person we're going to talk about tonight is one of my absolute favourites, and it's Audrey Hepburn. And I chose her because I feel that Audrey has been a role model for women in a way that she's allowed us to be gracious, feminine, but she's also enabled us to get to the point, to open our mind, open our hearts up and speak about what's on our mind in a very forthright and direct manner at the same time as being very gracious. So I hope you've enjoyed Mercury. Next week we're going to talk about it in Cancer, Virgo and Leo.
Yes. And, you know, it's interesting, Amanda, when I have a friend of mine that's, and she's a Taurus, a sun sign Taurus, but she talks so fast. It's literally, she doesn't take a breath. So I asked for her birth date, I went back and checked it, and sure enough, she had Mercury in Aries.
Absolutely, and it's unmistakable. And I mean, I don't know Mitchell's date of birth, and I'm not going to ask you.
I'll tell you, I'm the 11th of April. I'm April 11, and I'm an Aries, and my Mercury is in Pisces.
That's interesting. Well, that's your psychic stuff, of course.
That's right.
Yes.
You know, Aries comes across as, like a lot of psychics do, we all talk so fast, and it's because I think the information is downloading so fast.
Exactly.
Mine's actually in Capricorn, and I always say to people, anybody that's got Mercury in Capricorn, I feel sorry for them because you're like the constant teacher with the red pen correcting everybody. You don't forget anything. You want it verbatim. You want it perfect. You don't want
You mentioned something about Mercury retrograde there. That was a wonderful point you made. If people are born with Mercury retrograde, it won't be for too long. Just for argument's sake, say it progressed 14 days after your birth. It means that, isn't it like Venus, where you go 14 years after your birth, that those issues are corrected? I'll give you another example. I was born with Venus retrograde. It didn't move forward until 21 days after my birth. Oh. So at the age of 21, I went into broadcasting. Now, isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, there's lots of schools of thought, Steve, of how people sort of work with a retrograde planet in their natal chart. We'll have a conversation about Venus retrograde another day, but the Mercury retrograde, in my opinion, it usually means that we find a different way of communicating, and that's why I picked out somebody like Charlie Chaplin. I didn't check to see whether his was retrograde, but it wouldn't surprise me because he found that point of difference, that different way of expressing the communication. And some of the most prolific songwriters in the world and some of the world's greatest artists like Da Vinci and those sort of people had Mercury retrograde.
Oh, I must jump in. I had Mercury retrograde when I was born.
Yeah, so, you know, you find a way of working
like I'm like Da Vinci.
to make your point across, you know, to get your point across, to get people to take notice of what you've got to say, because they usually have something, dare I say, a little bit more important to share with us than sort of the rest of us average old souls, you know. That's why they were given a Mercury retrograde. I look at it as a blessing, not a hindrance.
That's a help, because I've always seen it as a hindrance. I've always wished it to buggery. So
everybody does. Yeah,
yes, I have. I never ever wanted to have Mercury retrograde.
No, because it's in the old teachings of astrology, it was considered like a life sentence. If you had that chain, and you may as well
That's
go
okay.
and chop those off.
Robert Hand made me really regret that I had Mercury retrograde. So after all these years, you've made me feel much better about it. Thank you.
Well, that's good. That's what we're here for. But it's
Beautiful.
to try and bring things up to a more modern era. That, you know, not everything, even though astrology is a science, not everything is set in concrete. You know, we have to go with the modern times, and we have to look at how is the energy working today, not how it worked 300 years ago.
Very true. Very, very true.
Thank you, my love. Thank you for coming on the show, as always. And we'll see you again next Monday night talking about Mercury travelling through the signs. Amanda Hall there with us. And if you'd like to contact Amanda through our show...
Thank you. See you, Amanda. The amazing Amanda.
.com. The amazing Amanda.
Oh, my Lord.
We've come to the end of another railway line, and it's been a lovely journey tonight, and especially with Chief Driver.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes,
That's very kind. I'd just like to say, you know, really thank you to everybody that has sent in their questions. I was told there was hundreds of questions that were sent in, and I just want to thank every single person that did take the time to write in. And I'm sorry I haven't been able to get to every single person's question, and I do hope that through, you know, hearing the readings that have been on tonight's show, you might be able to take away a little bit of comfort, healing or inspiration for yourself as well. All right, so thank you very much to everyone for your support. I really appreciate it.
And thank you to Zoe Sheridan, who came in tonight as well, Roxy Feng Shui, and Amanda for being on our show.
Just a lot of information shared tonight.
It's been beautiful.
Yeah, there's some really enlightening stuff also for the viewers with the answers to their questions, but also some really great information that was passed around, from the salt lamps to the 1111, and the significance all seems to work in together once you do the readings. So it's really been a fantastic night.
If you're confused, you're in very good company.
And Mark also wanted to let us know.
Here we go.
Here we go. Oh, no. You are not going to get me to giggle on this show. We are going to make it out to the end of the show before you make me laugh, Steve.
Let's
no. Okay,
serious.
Mark said that, just to let you know, that the people that you had offered the packages to, she will be in contact with you, and she will organise to have them sent out to you.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Coming out your way, a beautiful book pack,
incense.
Oh, and of course, it's my part on the script, Steve. That's what happens when you don't wear your glasses, because you're trying to, you know,
do you want me to
look
read
better.
that?
No, it's good. I know it off by heart because I was reading it before. All About You will be going to the CPC Expo, April 28, 29 and 30. Now, joining us down there will be Sheila Bejarasa, Peter Hoare, Sammy Bunting, and my good self and Marg, the EP. and also Fiona Rain. So we'll be down there for 3 days, and the guys will be doing readings down there, and I do believe that you'll be down there as well.
Yes, I am there on the Sunday. I will be on main stage at the Sunday.
If you love the show, please come and visit us if you're in the vicinity. We would love to meet you in person, and also the guys would love to be able to do a reading for you, and of course the fabulous Mitchell. It would just be an honour to have you back on the show at some time. I know how busy you are. I know how busy you are, but please at some time, and I look forward to seeing you down there soon.
Thank you so very much to both of you again.
It's a pleasure. Thanks. We love having you here as well, brother.
Thank you. I enjoy being... We feel like that, don't we? We're like twins connected at the hip almost, Steve, you and I. We're very similar.
Well, hopefully there'll be some more shows of us all together soon. I'm Stephen J. Murphy. Thanks for being with us, friends. We'll see you on the show next week. Thanks for listening and thanks for viewing.
Bye for now.
Good night.